Good evening and welcome to Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School in Coppell, Texas, where tonight it is win or go home for the Marcus Marauders as they face the number 9 ranked in the state Coppell Cowboys here on Marcus Football Night.
He's into the end zone. 10-5 touchdown.
Good evening, Marauder fans, and welcome to Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School, where tonight your Marcus Marauders face the number 9 ranked Coppell Cowboys, who come into this game 9-0 on the season, undefeated in district at 6-0, already having clinched the District 5-6A championship, and tonight they are going for a 10-0 season and the outright district championship, as opposed to possibly being a co-champion. But the bottom line is for the Cowboys, their spot in the playoffs this season in Class 6A and the UIL is set. They will be the number 1 seed out of 5-6A. They will take on the 4 seed out of 6-6A next week in the bi-district round, which they will host here at Buddy Echols Stadium. For the Marauders, they're playing for everything. Their season is on the line tonight as they come into this game. It is when you have an opportunity to get into the playoffs tomorrow night, depending what happens at Neely Wilson Stadium when Flower Mound hosts Hebron. But if you lose, your season is done, and you will go home. The Marcus Marauders coming at 6-3 in this district in 5-6A. They are 3-3 in district play. I am Jacob Dedamore. I'm here, as always, with my broadcast partner, Tim Smith. Our executive producer tonight is Trey Bell here on Tradio and Champion Sports Radio. And here's the thing tonight for me, Tim. Empty your bag.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to be back in the booth with you this week after being out last week, but you're right. Empty the entire bag. I mean, for the seniors, for some of these guys, and we'll talk about this later, this could be the last time that some of these folks get to play football. For some of them, they're going off to college, but the memories of this season are going to stay with you forever. And then for the underclassmen that are playing tonight, it's all about getting better every time you step on the field, because next year you're going to start the process all over again no matter what. But go out tonight, let it all hang out, and try to get a win when no one expects you to.
Is this kind of a game for a coach and a player knowing that if like I said, like we said a few minutes ago, winning doesn't even necessarily put them in the playoffs for sure, but at least gives them the chance. They know if they lose, their season's over. Is that, especially as a coach, for example, because you've been in that position before, is it almost a bit freeing as a play caller because you can just say, look, we can try anything we can think of because there's nothing really for us to lose here in this game?
Yeah, I mean, there's no time to be tight. There's no time to wait till next week to run this play or, we didn't practice that enough. And you're going up against a gorilla tonight,
yes.
Right? I mean, you have a big uphill battle to climb. And so when you have that, when you're the underdog, and guess what? It's easy for us to talk about underdog.
Of course.
In that locker room, they feel like they can come out and win here tonight. That's the way they have to feel.
Yes.
And to do that, you said it, empty the bag, throw everything, even the kitchen sink if they have to tonight.
Yes, and we're this Coppell Cowboys team this year is very senior-laden. They are extremely heavy on both sides of the ball with this senior class. This is kind of their it's now or never for us to make a deep playoff run in this program, from what I've been told by their broadcast team, who is also with the Champion Sports Radio family, and Tom Dewar. This is a very senior-heavy crew. They've got multiple Division I commits in their starting lineup here. Yep. 4 on defense, 2 on offense. They've got a ton of talent, and it's shown through this year. But the one thing about this Coppell squad that we've noticed last year, you're going to hear this in my interview with Mike Alexander, they did, at least last year in this game when they played, they did they were able to hold this offense down to in the 20-point range. They were able to slow them down. That's got to be, I would think, the goal tonight, so you can keep this a little lower scoring game and stay in it. So they haven't had success doing that. Also, teams this year have stayed with Coppell at least through a half. There have been multiple games this year that were very close and competitive at halftime, and in the second half is when Coppell was able to pull away. So you got to at least be able to look at some of these results if you're Marcus and say, look, this team is very good, but they're not unbeatable.
Nobody is unbeatable, and you're right. I mean, you look at the way Marcus have played this year. They've been in every game at halftime, and
yes.
A couple of weeks ago they had an uphill battle to climb with Denton Geyer, and they were right there in the mix at halftime. Things just kind of went away in the second half, and sometimes these teams that are upper echelon teams, they just lean on you and they tire you out, and they start to set things up, and things start to work a little bit better and freer in the second half of games. So certainly Coppell, a second half football team, it's going to take all 48 minutes tonight.
All right, when we come back here on the pregame show here on Marcus Football Night, you will hear the thoughts of Marcus head coach Mike Alexander. That is next here on Marcus Football Night.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Mike Bean for your personal price plan today.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates, proud sponsors of Marcus High School football. Whether it's a game-winning touchdown or a fierce tackle, we're here to keep our athletes strong and in the game. From sports injuries to joint pain, our team of top orthopedic specialists is dedicated to providing the best care to keep you moving. Visit us at Orthopedic Associates, where your health is our victory.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Marcus Football Night, and I'm joined by Marcus head coach Mike Alexander. Coach, it was a very successful senior night for you guys against Little Elm. You got the big win. You got to get a lot of seniors, a lot of snaps, especially in the second half, and a lot of guys who hadn't gotten to play very much this year got to not only play, but also got to make an impact on the game in their own way. What were your feelings after the win over Little Elm?
Yeah, thanks, Jacob. Man, it was really probably the highlight of the season so far, just watching all of our guys that come to work out and practice every day and care so much about being a Marauder that don't get to play a whole lot. Let them go out there and really play, half the football game and outscore their opponent 21-6 in the second half. That was the coolest part about it, because it wasn't like we just limped to the finish line, to try and get through the end of the game. Our guys that hadn't played a whole lot went out there and played really well, played really hard, ton of energy. We had more energy on the sideline during the game in the second half than we did in the first half, because all of our starters getting to watch their teammates get out there that they know practice every day and go play at a high level. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, and I thought your team did a good job keeping their emotions in check for the most part, and composure in a game that got a little bit out of hand. Little Elm's had a tough season, so you can kind of understand why they might be a little frustrated, but I thought the guys did a good job just kind of keeping everything in check.
Right.
Now you've got this game against Coppell coming up tonight, and basically it's you win, you're in, you lose, you go home for the season. Playoffs really, if you want to look at it this way, kind of started for you guys a couple of weeks ago. So this is almost like just another playoff game against a playoff level opponent.
Yes, sir. I mean, You know, it was hard to tell back at second week of district. We dropped that game to Hebron, and, you know, that was probably the low light of our season in terms of how we played and the energy and effort that we played with, all the things. And in the back of my mind, I knew that I had a bad feeling that that loss was going to affect us down the road. And sure enough, it has. But what's left us with, Jacob, is you're right. We've been kind of back against the wall for the last 2 weeks for sure. And, you know, our kids have responded every time. You know, we played really well at times against Flower Mound, found a way to win it at the end, to stay in the hunt. Took care of business last week against a struggling Little Elm team. And here we are, week 10. We got the number 9 team in the state, the number 1 team in our district, and we get to round out the season with them. And if we beat them, we got a good shot to get in, you know. And so I'm excited about it. Our kids are excited. Anytime you get a chance to play high school football one more time, it's a blessing. And we're going to go out here tonight and make the most of it.
Yeah, and I should say I misspoke when I said you win, you're in, you lose, you go home. If you win, you have a chance to get in, and if you lose, you go home.
Correct.
What will that be like for especially all your players having to suddenly become Jaguar fans on Friday night?
Yeah, they're not going to have a problem rooting for the Jags for one night. If we can get this win against Coppell, they'll be happy to wear the blue on Friday, I guarantee you.
Yeah, it might be a little different atmosphere with Marauder and Jaguars fans at Neely Wilson on Friday should you guys get the win than it was a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Well, what are you looking for? This is obviously an extremely talented, extremely good football team you are facing tonight. What are you looking for as what you think you guys need to do key-wise to be able to pull this off?
Oh, my goodness. You know, I think if you talk first about our defense, we got to limit their big plays, their explosive plays. And, you know, and I'll say this, Jacob, we look back, I was just watching our game from last year when we jumped on this call, and we did that last year. You know, the issue last year wasn't defensively. We played pretty sound defensively, held them to 20 points, which was their season low. But we got to do that again. We've got to limit the explosive plays. We can't give them big chunks. And I think if we do that, we can definitely keep the point total down. You're not going to completely shut down Coppell. I mean, people have done it for a half throughout the year, but nobody's done it for a full game. But what we got to do is limit their big plays, and that'll keep points off the board. Then on the offense, man, I think we've got to find explosive plays in there somewhere. They do such a good job of getting a lot of guys involved in the run game and putting pressure on you that you've got to find ways to beat them over the top. You got to find ways to get receivers lost in some way down the field because they're so good at stopping the run. You're not going to drive the ball down the field, running the ball on them all the way down the field. Nobody has this year. You know, I don't anticipate we're going to be able to be superhuman and do that tonight. So we've got to take care of the football, not turn it over, and find some explosives here and there.
Well, I know we're all looking forward to seeing what goes on tonight here on the football field, and definitely hoping for a Marauders win so that Friday means something in that game over at Flower Mound High School.
Man, that'd be something.
That's Marcus head coach Mike Alexander. We'll be back with more of the pregame show here on Marcus Football Night.
Fans experience amazing at Marty B's restaurants. Marty B's, Rustico, 1845. Marty B's Coffee, and now open Branded Bowls. And coming very soon, you can experience sizzling fajitas and wonderful margaritas at their all-new Cactus Canyon. Experience amazing in any and all Marty B's locations.
Can you feel it? The paradigm shift. The rising intensity as the engines idle. Let the race begin. Fire up your appetite. Farm fresh beef, straight from the source, to our grill, and from the sea to your plate. All of our ingredients are fresh and made to order. Dine in today and taste the fast and furious difference. Order online or take it to go and Fire up your appetite at F&F Japanese Grill.
Are you ready to score big in the game of home ownership? Southern Collective Realty is here to get you into the end zone of your dream home. Hi, I'm Amy Turner, and I'm the broker and owner of Southern Collective Realty. I've been a Marcus mom for the last 6 amazing years and a great supporter of the Marauders.
I'm Sarah Grant, and I'm proud to be a Marauder mom and aunt. Together we bring in over 20 years of experience in Flower Mound and surrounding areas. Southern Collective Realty, where every home purchase is a victory.
Ready to kick off your search? Give us a call today.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Marcus Football Night. We are live, Jacob Dedamore and Tim Smith from Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School. And it's now time for our 3 keys. And for that, I throw it to my broadcast partner, Tim Smith.
Well, Jacob, we're going to reiterate a few things that you and I talked about and that Coach talked about in his interview. First key is going to be play a full 48 minutes. We know it's going to be an uphill battle, but it's still football. This game is played between the lines, and the only way to pull off an upset is to give yourself a shot in the playoffs is to play all 48 minutes. If you take any time off against Coppell, it's going to bite you. For some, this might be the last time they play, so you got to let it all hang out. The next thing is going to be stay within yourself. Players have a tendency in games like this, season and playoffs on the line, to try to do things they wouldn't normally do. Don't do that. Don't try to make a game-changing play. Let the game come to you. Those plays will come. Just play as you have all season and as you've been coached by Coach Alexander and this staff. And lastly, have fun. Football, it just doesn't last forever, but memories do. These players have made a whole season of memories, and especially for the seniors, let it all hang out tonight. All that said, for Marcus to have a chance to win the game tonight, they need to slow down that Coppell pressure defense, win time of possession, keeping that high-powered Coppell offense off the field, and look for some splash plays on both sides, just like Coach Alexander said. It's all or nothing for Marcus tonight, Jacob.
It really is. And, you know, I like especially number 2, about staying within yourself. You know, don't, like you said, don't try to do somebody else's job. Do your job and let your teammates handle theirs. And, you know, the whole letting it all hang out, have fun with it, that is also so important in a game like this, because you're right. For Marcus, this might be the last time for these seniors that they take the football field. And, you know, we're going to harp on this, I know, probably a lot during this pregame, but the scenario tonight for the Marcus Marauders is if you win, if you're able to pull off this upset tonight, then whether or not you get in the playoffs will be determined tomorrow night at Flower Mound High School at Neely Wilson Stadium when the Jaguars host the Hebron Hawks. It'll be kind of ironic that, you know, the Marcus will suddenly become a fan of Flower Mound because they need the Jaguars to knock off Hebron in order to get Marcus into the playoffs should they win tonight.
That could be the most crowded stadium in the Metroplex because I imagine all of Marcus would be at that game should they win tonight. So certainly they would have plans tomorrow. So we look forward to that. Right now you can't focus on tomorrow, though. You got to focus on tonight.
You got to make tomorrow mean something.
Exactly. So you've got to focus every single play here tonight. No plays off, no quarters off. Go out there and just fly around and have fun.
Well, let's go ahead while we have a moment here, because we are still in the pregame show here. They're still doing some ceremonies on the field involving some of the Marcus seniors from some support groups and some other groups involved in the school. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups tonight for the Marcus Marauders and for the Coppell Cowboys. And we will, of course, start on the Marcus side of the ball. And when they do have the football, their starting lineup will look like this. Across the offensive line, it is that all-junior starting lineup of number 71, Frank Adams at left tackle, Jimmy Graham, number 60 at left guard, Grant Gager, number 72 at center, Matthew Willett at right guard, number 65, and number 75, Rhett Harmon. In the skill position set, your tight end, Jackson Morris, number 80. He is a senior, leads this team in touchdown catches. By the way, number 6, Rhett Garza. He is the deep threat. He has been the big play wide receiver for this Marcus Marauder football team. And number 1, Charlie Burgesson on the other side at the X. Elsewhere at the slot receiver, you have number 7, Cooper Campbell, the senior, the sophomore signal caller, number 13, Colton Nussmeyer, of course. your senior Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi, the starting running back, and at the junior H-back, number 44, Gavin Huffman. Of course, with the Marauders, you will see a lot of two tight end formations with both Huffman and Jackson Morris on the field together. On the defensive side of the ball for the Marcus Marauders, what we expect to see tonight is number 33, Will Harrison at the anchor, the senior captain, Tony Lee, number 57 at nose. And right now we have Lamar Lewis, number 45, in the starting lineup, the senior, but what we don't know is the condition of the sophomore, number 99, Liam Hoskins. He was questionable, according to Coach Alexander, coming into this game tonight. We don't know if we'll see him. It is basically a coin flip. It's a 50-50 proposition. He got hurt a couple of weeks ago in the game against Geyer and has not been back on the field since, so we will see if he's back tonight. At the linebacker positions, of course, the Texas Tech commit, the senior captain, Brock Golwis, number 15. At the Sam, you have the other senior, Caleb Livingston, number 31, and junior, number 28, Vincent Bowie. In your secondary this evening, of course, you have the senior at one cornerback, number 18, Taylor Haslam. The junior, number 5, Bradley Ezioki. They have a big task tonight, these cornerbacks do. At the rover, number 4, Easton Mitchell. The junior and sophomore, number 3, Jamison Mayfield. At the bandit, who have been phenomenal this year, the junior Brady Moore is starting at the freak tonight because we do not believe that Jet Jonker will be available this evening, number 27. He's missed the last couple of games with injury as well. That's your starting lineup for the Marcus Marauders on both sides of the ball. For the Coppell Cowboys tonight, 9-0 coming into the season, ranked number 6 in the state, undefeated in District 5, 6A, have already clinched at least a co-championship and the number 1 seed out of this district for the playoffs. On offense, they look like this. Number 55, Braden Walker, the senior, is at left tackle. At senior number 71, Andrew Gross is at left guard. Noah John is the senior at center, number 53. Making his first start of the season due to injury is number 77, senior offensive lineman Keegan Redden at right guard. He is in for the injured Jordan Stafford, who has been the starter this season. And at right tackle, senior number 65, Tyler Wall. Again, all seniors up front, even your backups are seniors for this Coppell Cowboys offensive line. The signal caller is number 14, the Baylor commit, senior Edward Griffin, who is having a phenomenal season. He was the 6A offensive MVP last year. This year he is completing 79.5 in district play, I should say. He is completing 79.5% of his passes. On the season, he's completing 77.5%. On the year, he's thrown for 2,543 yards, 34 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. He has been phenomenal. He is also running the ball this year. He's got 54 carries for 263 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging 4.9 a carry from the quarterback position. Your 2 running backs, you will see, I think tonight we will see a heavy dose of both the senior running backs. Both number 6, Omarion Mbakwe, and number 18, Josh Locke, both seniors. Again, on the season, they split duties in that backfield. Mbakwe is averaging 5.7 yards a carry with 9 touchdowns, 636 yards rushing this year. Josh Locke is averaging 7.6 a carry, 561 yards and 6 touchdowns himself on the ground. So this is a very balanced offense and also a very prolific offense both ways, whether they run it or pass it. And again, they are both seniors, and Edward Griffin, I mentioned, is a Baylor commitment. Your starting wide receivers, senior number 13, Harry Hassman, on the outside at one spot. Tucker Cusano, number 1, is also a senior and returning starter. He is going to be heading to Rice to play football, so not only is he a good enough football player to get a D1 offer, he's also very smart if he's heading to Rice down in Houston. Also, senior number 88, Jacoby Coleman, and number 16, Ethan Scuey, the 2 wide receivers. Your tight end is senior number 9, Chris Searcy, starting at tight end. The Cusano and Hassman this year have been very prolific. Hassman, you'll love these numbers, 35 catches for 1,019 yards and 15 touchdowns, averaging 29.1 yards a catch.
Those sound like Randy Moss
yeah,
numbers.
I know. 29.1 yards a catch and 113.2 yards a game. Cusano, the Rice commit, 46. He leads the team with 46 catches. He has 751 yards and 14 touchdowns himself. He has been very good. And Coleman this year is 3rd on the team in receptions, 27 for 320 and 2 touchdowns. But it has been those 2 Cusano and Hausman, that duo who have powered this passing game. On the defensive side of the ball for the Coppell Cowboys, up front at one defensive end, you've got senior Blake Isbell, number 8, and number 12, Uche Odemegwu. Uche Odemegwu, number 12. At defensive tackle, number 23, Garvey Frederick, and number 0, Titus Robinson. All 4 of them are seniors. Robertson, the defensive tackle, number 0, and Isbell, number 8, the defensive end, are both going to Tulsa to play ball at the next level, committed to play there. At linebacker for this team, at your middle linebacker spot is senior Weston Polk, number 11. He is a Kansas State commit, a third D1 talent on that side of the ball. Unfortunately, tonight, Noah Toledo is injured, their senior starting weak side linebacker, so starting in his stead tonight is number 46, Madden Montague, a senior. He's only played in 4 games this season, but he is in the starting lineup tonight because of injury. And your outside linebacker / rover, yet another senior, number 2, Matthew Neitzel, number 2 on the outside. Your 2 starting cornerbacks, number 3, the senior Seth Carruthers. He is a Wake Forest commit, so there's your 4th D1 talent on the defensive side of the ball. And number 32, the junior, Tyree Robinson on the other side. Roberson, not Robinson. Roberson on the other side. Number 34, Tyrell Roberson, is going to be starting this evening. It's his first start of the year. He is going to be starting for the Yale commit. Number 10, Alex Krause at safety. It doesn't say that he's injured. Just tonight, Tyrell Roberson is going to be starting the junior. And the senior free safety is number 4, Scott Fishpaw. So as we've said, very heavy starting lineup, very heavy senior-laden team here for the Coppell Cowboys.
And we missed the coin toss.
Oh, did we? Well,
and I was paying so much attention to you that I did not see it.
Marcus deferred, so Marcus will be kicking off to start the game, and they will be starting the game on defense tonight. But let's go ahead and take you down to the field right now because they've got the flag out, and they're going to be doing the national anthem. Coppell is playing their alma mater right now, so let's go ahead and take you down to the field for the national anthem.
And now the Coppell school song. Let's welcome to the field the Flower Mound Marcus Marauder.
Well, we're still waiting. We thought they were about to do the national anthem. We're still kind of waiting for that. The Cowboys have yet to come onto the field, so our apologies for that. We misread the situation on the field, but they are about to, as the Cowboys are about to come out on the field. Wow, they're all carrying American flags.
Yeah, this is, I hope the paper is a tearaway paper,
yeah,
because we're going to have a mess.
I hope they're careful down
See,
there.
tearaway paper.
There you go.
That's how it's supposed to be. There you go. Good job. Well done.
The Marcus Marauders tonight in their white road uniforms with red numbers, wearing their black pants with red and gray stripes down the sides. Coppell Cowboys tonight wearing their all black uniforms with white numbers and white helmets this evening. You like this fight song, Tim?
At least they're not playing the Michigan one tonight.
Tim is a Michigan man, and so this one hurts him.
I don't even pay attention. Don't even. Look at this scene, though, Jacob. This is a lot going on. I never once in high school in Illinois played in a football game where there was nearly this many people and this much activity going on. I think we had like 10 children.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm surprised that the stands are a little more full. I wonder if people weren't sure about the weather tonight, and getting over here.
Well, I mean, there could be some rain. It's been kind of muggy and icky all day, so settle in, folks. Get your snacks, get your drinks. Have a fun time. This is going to be a fun game.
Again, we know that the coin toss has already occurred. Marcus won the toss, chose to defer, so they will start on defense. Cowboys get this high-powered Cowboys offense. We'll get to start on the field tonight. And now we have the national anthem.
Salute our servicemen and women. Jacob Schick, a U.S. Marine and Coppell alumni, was your honorary captain this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise if you are able. Please remove your caps. As we prepare to honor America with the playing of our national anthem by your award-winning Coppell High School varsity band.
Weston.
Excellent job by the Coppell Cowboy marching band. And the Marauders get their helmets on and get ready to go here.
Look at all the smoke bombs going off in the student section.
They got some little smoke makers going on over there.
Oh, boy. So we're on the visitor side tonight.
Yes, we are.
Usually we're on the home side, so it's a little different view.
They have a very big visitors press box here at Buddy Echols Field, and they put the broadcast teams over here along with both sets of coaches, honestly. They put them all on the visitor side. But it's actually a really good view here at Buddy Echols Stadium. And it's a really nice field they have here, the Coppell Cowboys do.
They're making a mess across there.
They are.
I wish we could get a shot of that, Tradio. Let's get a shot of that talcum powder smoke bomb combination. I mean, it's still going on. There we go. Look at that. I mean, there was a lot more going on here a second ago, but they are crunk, as they say. They are turned up. They are ready to go here in Coppell.
They got 3 players.
Oh, they're still going.
Formation here for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have 3 players back to receive. This is not something you see very often. Looks like they've got number 88, Jacoby Coleman, number 4, Scott Fishbaugh, and I believe that may be number 16, Ethan Chewy back there. And we're about ready to get underway. Is number 90. Santiago Diaz lines things up to kick off. He's the kickoff specialist for this team. We're about ready to get underway here in this regular season finale for both teams. And it is a high, short, returnable kick that we caught at the 11. Turned up to the 20, out to the far side in front of the Coppell bench, and finally gets forced out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. That was Ethan Shuey on the return. That'll be an 18-yard return to the 29-yard line. That is where the Cowboys will start their first possession. Again, quarterbacked by the Baylor commitment, number 14, Edward Griffin, the senior. On the year, 2,543 yards passing, completing an amazing 77.5% of his passes.
Jared Buffalo.
Yeah, 34 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's going to be flanked to his left by, looks like number 0, Marion Mbakwe. And it's a handoff to Mbakwe up the middle, out past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 for Mbakwe. Number 6, Mbakwe. As they are going with trips wide receivers to the near side in their formation here in front of the Marcus. But it's 2nd and 6 now for the Cowboys.
Moving fast, but not in a hurry.
Handoff again to Mbakwe, and he on the zone read really drives forward the pile out past the 45 to the 46. Very strong run by Mbakwe. Again, coming into the season with 641 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns, averaging 5.7 a carry. Yes, what you see from Coppell here is they're running no huddle, but not necessarily running tempo, but they're not changing much in the way of personnel. 1st and 10 now out at the 46. They go empty set here on 1st down. It's going to be a little swing pass screen out to the near side, and it's immediately shut down by the Marauder defense. That was number 4, Easton Mitchell, who read that immediately and brought down Jacoby Coleman. Oh, check that. It was not Easton Mitchell. I'm sorry. I thought it was Mitchell. It was number 20, Brady Moore, who came in on the stop.
Brady Moore shows you how to do it. He breaks down. He watches the hips. He doesn't let the wiggle fool him. Makes a great open field tackle, and what a read.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12 now for the Cowboys at the 44. Mbakwe motions into the backfield on 2nd down as they go 4 wide. Snap back, that little mesh play. Mbakwe's into the open field. He's down inside the 40, the 30, and brought down from behind inside the 20. Mbakwe showing off his speed there off the mesh play. Got to the 2nd level immediately and is brought down at the 20-yard line after a gain of 36 yards.
And that happens because of the threat that Griffin can run. You
yes.
see he kind of walks up towards that line of scrimmage like he's looking for a hole. It causes the safety to hesitate just a little bit, which opens up that huge hole for the big running lane.
And it was Jamison Mayfield who brought him down from behind. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys just inside the Marauder 20 here in the opening possession. Snap back, and it's Mbakwe again. This time he stopped right across the line of scrimmage as it was number 14, Ryan San Miguel, who came in for the stop. Only a gain of about a yard and a half, making 2nd and about 9.
Good stand there by this Marauder defensive line to shut down that run. It's here early on. They've been getting what they want in the run game.
Coach Alexander told me he expects a heavy dose of their run game action tonight. Jet sweep, little pop pass to the wide receiver inside the 15 and getting close to the 1st down, but a little short. That was Tucker Cusano who came in motion, and the first pass of the night was a little pop pass. Looks like he gets down to about the 11, for a gain of 7. That's going to set up third and about a yard, maybe 2 here for the Marauder defense to try and stop.
Getting your quarterback in rhythm. First you throw a little swing pass to the running back. He doesn't get a lot of yards, but then you throw that little pop pass that gets you about 10 yards. The quarterback doesn't have to do a lot to get in rhythm early. You don't have to be taking shots downfield. Just get those completions, even though that's not your typical type of forward pass. It does give you confidence.
3rd and 2. Quick snap, little rocket pitch out to the outside, and the Marauders step up and stop it. They come in and they make the stop. Tony Lee penetrates down the line and hits Mbakwe right at the line of scrimmage and stops him short. Stopped him short. It'll be 4th and about a yard and a half.
I'll tell you, this defense for the Marauders has been good all year in that sideline to sideline and keeping teams hemmed in like that. They do another great job of protecting the edge and making sure they can't get the first down.
They give him forward progress for about a yard. The offense stays on the field for Coppell. 4th and a yard from just outside the 10. Snap back, hand off to Mbakwe. He trips, and it's going to be close. He tripped going into the hole, and we'll see where they mark this because it just looked like he tripped over somebody's foot as he was trying to get the hole. Looked like the hole was there, too, to get the first down.
Looks like they're going to give it to him.
And they're not even going to measure. They're going to go ahead and give him the first down. Wow.
I thought he was down at the 10. They marked him down at the 9. I mean, it looked like he slipped and hit his knee down at the 10, but.
Yeah, I don't think he had to get all the way to the 9 to get that first down, and I think he fell forward just enough. So a fortunate, little piece of fortune for Coppell there on 4th down. 1st and goal at the 9 for the Cowboys. Snap is back. Hand off to Mbakwe, and he's going to get dropped for a loss this time. Ryan San Miguel in on the stop, along with a couple of his teammates there. His number 45, Lamar Lewis, from his defensive end position, was also in there. There's our answer to the question. If Liam Hoskins is available tonight, he's definitely not starting. But Lamar Lewis, they drop him for a loss of 2 back at the 11.
Brock Golitz also in on that play. It's good to see the senior getting involved early here on this first drive.
So 2nd and goal now for the Marauders as we're in the opening possession of the ball game. Already taken a little over 5 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter. Receiver comes in motion. Another little pop pass coming around the near side and getting around the corner barely that time is number 13, Harry Hossman. As he is able to get the corner, he gets knocked down. They're going to mark him out at the 6. So it'll be a gain of 5, setting up 3rd and goal.
He did get around the corner just a little bit.
At the end.
Again, that's one of the toughest places to attack Marcus is on the edges.
Hossman this season, well, that's technically not a run play, so I won't count it as that. That was another one of those little pop passes. So 3rd and goal now for the Cowboys from the Marcus 6-yard line. 6:38 to go here in the first quarter. Opening drive of the ball game. Griffin in the shotgun. He will fake it to Mbakwe, roll to his right, and he throws it into the end zone, and it's knocked away. A great play on defense that time by the Marauders. It was Easton Mitchell getting his hands on the ball and knocking that one away, and it is setting up 4th down, and the field goal team will come on.
Easton Mitchell has been huge in the run game support this year from that safety spot. This time he doesn't bite on the run fake. He plays disciplined defense, covers his man, able to knock that ball away in the end zone. What a huge stop for this Marcus defense early on.
That is, that is very much a mini stop. Okay. Field goal team is on. The kick is up, and the kick is good from 23 yards out, as that was number 15, Bryson Patton, the senior kicker, putting Coppell on the board with the 23-yard field goal. And Coppell takes the opening drive and puts up 3. It is 3-0 Coppell. Marcus will get the ball next after the kickoff. This is Marcus Football Night.
Fall will be here before you know it. Is your home ready? Upgrade your home with Pella Windows and Doors for only $199 a month. Our beautiful, energy-efficient windows come with a lifetime warranty, ensuring your family stays comfortable through every season. Call now for a free consultation and make sure your home is prepared with
Coppell Cowboys take that opening possession 65 yards, but the Marcus defense, once they get inside the 10-yard line, is able to raise up and get the mini stop and force a 23-yard field goal from Bryson Patton, and the Cowboys have a 3-0 lead. 6:29 to go here in the first quarter from Buddy Echols Field. Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith here with you. And the Marcus Marauders about to get the ball for the first time is Jaden Tidwell. Nope, it's not going to be Tidwell. They fake it, and it is actually Patton that kicks it off. It's going to be fair caught at the goal line, moving backwards by number 12, Peyton Belton. So the Marauders will take over at their own 25.
I'll tell you what, the special teams coach for Coppell has a lot of time on his hands because that was a lot going on. They come out of the huddle. They act as though they're going to run and kick the ball out of a bunch. They fake that. They spread them out. Then they have a guy fake like he's going to kick. Then a kicker actually kicked the ball. All that for a fair catch.
All kinds of fakery and, it's just sound and fury signifying nothing. All right, so the Marauders will start on 1st and 10 here from their own 25. Colton Nussmeyer, 1,629 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for the sophomore. He's under center on 1st down. In motion goes Garza, and it's going to be a handoff, and immediately getting hit in the backfield is Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi, as getting in there almost immediately was number 34, Tyrell Roberson, the safety, who came up. It was basically on the end of the line of scrimmage like a run blitz. Well,
the play had no chance because the receiver goes in motion. The safety comes down on the line of scrimmage from where the player just leaves and just comes down the line unblocked and makes an easy tackle.
And they lose 4 yards on the play, and now we have a flag, and we're going to have a false start. There was some movement as the side judge on the far side saw somebody move, so back it up 5 more. So the Marauders lose 4 on a first run, and you're right. That's just, Roberson's man went in motion, so he just went to the end of the line and blitzed.
That's all that happened there. They knew what was coming. Typically, you'll want to run behind that motion, but when you have an unblocked guy coming from the other side of the field, it's just hard to stop.
So after the penalty, it's now 2nd and 19 back at the 16. Again, that was Kelly-Ikipi on the opening carry. Snap back to Nussmeyer out of the shotgun, and he's going to fire one caught right in front of the Marcus bench by Charlie Burgesson. Number 1 makes the grab out at the 24-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8. Now set up 3rd and 6.
And that's something Nussmeyer is so good at.
Check that. That was I misspoke. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Nussmeyer is so good at those timing routes outside the numbers. That was just a 10-yard out route. The corner is playing off. He's giving room, playing a little inside leverage, easy pitch and catch on the outside.
3rd and long out of the shotgun and 3 wide set. And he's going to fire one up the sideline, and that pass is caught by Ryan Garza. A back shoulder fade as the defender, number 4, Scott Fishpaw, had his back to the ball, and Ryan Garza watched it the whole way, stopped and high-pointed the ball and brought it down at the 46 for a beautiful gain out to get a first down for Marcus.
And I thought he was going to go to Charlie Burgesson on the other side of the field, who ran a little post dig. It looked like he had broken open, but he goes to his number 1 receiver and gets a big catch down the sideline.
Gain of 22 yards to move the chains. Handoff on 1st down. And not finding the hole that time was Kelly-Ikipi. Just ran right up the back of his lineman. It looked like there was a hole to his right if he had just had a little jump step to his right, but he didn't see it. And number 10, Alex Krause, the safety, the Yale commit, comes up and wraps him up for no gain.
We know how good this Coppell defense is against the run, and you look at all the players that they have up on the line of scrimmage. It's hard to get everyone blocked in that scheme, and that's what's happening right now. They're bringing more than they're going to block. Now here's the big pass completion down the side. Look at that perfect throw and catch by Garza.
On 2nd down, a quick shotgun snap, and the pass is dropped at midfield. He was trying to hit his tight end, Jackson. He was trying to hit his tight end, Jackson Morris, on a little stop route, and it just went right through his hands and hit the ground.
That might be the first drop we've seen from Jackson Morris all year.
He's a very sure-handed
tight end right there, and that's a staple play for Marcus, hitting that tight end on that little curl route inside the defense.
Would have been a gain of at least 4 or 5 yards to set up a 3rd and manageable. Now it's 3rd and 10 for the Marauders at their own 46, just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Cooper Campbell comes in a little bit of motion. Little fire out to the side. That ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage as he was trying to get it to Cooper Campbell on a quick out. And I believe that was, again, the safety, number 10, Alex Kraus, who came in and on a blitz and got his hand on the ball and knocked it down.
Just pressure, pressure, pressure.
Yeah.
Coppell loves to bring that pressure, and they do it that time and they get home. If you're going to bring the pressure against Nussmeier, you're going to have to get home.
So the Marauders will be forced to punt here. Back to receive this punt is number 16, Ethan Shuey, the senior wide receiver. Mayfield on to punt. Line drive kick, and Shuey's going to catch it and have room to run. Going to the far side. He has the corner out past the 30, the 40, and now he turns on the Jets, and he's got blockers. He's running up the sideline inside the 20, the 10, the 5, and he will score. A beautifully set up punt return by the Cowboys that time, assisted, unfortunately, by a line drive punt that didn't give time for the coverage to get down there, and Shuey returns that all the way to the house.
As a punt returner, there are two returns that you like the most. One, that you are running towards the ball full speed and catch it and go. The other is when it comes right to you on a line drive and the coverage team doesn't have time to get in their lanes and get downfield, and now everything is turned the other way, and that's just an easy touchdown for the Coppell Cowboys.
76 yards on the punt return that time for Ethan Shuey, and the Coppell Cowboys special teams get them into the end zone, and the extra point was good. They now have a 10-0 lead. We'll keep it here for just a moment as the kickoff teams are already coming back out on the field. So really an unfortunate set of circumstances there. You had a drop pass on second down, would have set up a third and manageable. Aren't able to get the third down conversion. The punt, not the kind of punt you want, and it helps set up the return for Coppell. So it's 10-0 Cowboys. Or wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I think you are ahead. I think there was a flag, and they brought that thing all the way back.
Wow, I never saw a flag on that field, did you?
I did not.
Well, it looked like they had an illegal block of some kind, so never mind on all of that. And the snap is bobbled but picked up by Griffin. Now he's just trying to get away from pressure. He gets the ball away, throws it into the Coppell bench to save the down. So the Marauders catch a break with the penalty on the punt return, and this drive was starting at the 29 of Coppell, so it was definitely a block a little bit further upfield somewhere during the course of the return. We'll see if we can catch it on our replay here, but it was an illegal block of some kind that brought this back to the 29-yard line. Now it's 2nd and 10, so fortunate set of circumstances.
Very fortunate for Marcus, because that was not the ideal offensive drive that you want to start the game with.
We do apologize for not seeing that flag. Handoff on second down. Not much room to go to run that time for Josh Locke on his first carry of the game. He gets about 2 yards, 2.5 out to the 30. And
so here's the block in the back. 38 is the one that gets blocked in the back.
Yeah, but they started at the 29, so it had to have been further upfield than that one, or they would have marked it further back.
You know what? That's a good point. There's one of them anyway.
Yeah.
There's one block in the back. There might be another one.
Yeah, we're not seeing where this penalty happened, but somewhere. 3rd and 8 now for the Coppell Cowboys at their own 30 here. Snap back to Griffin on an empty set. He steps up in the pocket, breaks a tackle. Now he's going to try to run, and he is going to get the first down. What a strong run by Griffin. He was able to break through a couple of attempts to bring him down and keep his feet and get the ball all the way out to the 40 for a gain of 10.
The amazing thing was that he got tripped twice, and both times looked back up to see if he could get the ball out. And when he realized he couldn't, he just started to stumble more or less down the field and somehow get that first down.
Boy, just a great run that time by Griffin. That was all effort by him because it looked like a couple of times the Marauders were going to bring him down. Still another empty set here on 1st and 10 at the 40. Griffin dropping back out of the shotgun, stepping up in the pocket, gets hit and throws, and boy, he's lucky that one wasn't intercepted. He was just trying to get rid of that ball to avoid the sack and almost threw it into coverage.
He sure did. He had pressure immediately. And I couldn't see exactly, but there was a Marcus player holding on.
Yeah, there was a Marcus player down around his feet. Couldn't quite see.
I think it was Tony Lee, 57 is who it was.
That wouldn't surprise me. Tony Lee's been
We're going to see the replay
those
here.
Kind of plays all season.
Yeah, Tony, we know he anchors. There he goes. He beats his
him.
man right off the line of scrimmage. He's right there around the ankles, making the quarterback extremely uncomfortable.
Jacob Knutson couldn't quite get over in front of the ball to try and make an attempt to pick that pass off. But a nice play by Tony Lee again.
He has a combination of speed and strength, and centers really have a hard time trying to block him one-on-one.
2nd and 10 now for the Cowboys at their own 40. 3:14 to go here in the first quarter from Buddy Echols Field at Coppell High School. Little mesh play, handoff. Nope, Griffin's going to keep it. Coming around the left side. He's still breaking tackles. Man, what a strong run. Marauders are having some trouble bringing him down, and he is able to power his way forward all the way to the 46.
Well, he's out there running like Josh Allen, isn't he? He just won't come down. It doesn't matter. He's taking hits. He's running through folks. Take it easy. Drake May. A little Drake May in him. He needs to calm down.
We don't have a height and weight listing for the Coppell Cowboy players, but Griffin, whatever size he's listed at, he's running that big.
Well, he looks about as big as his offensive lineman down there. He looks a pretty good-sized kid down there.
3rd and 4 after another strong run by Griffin. Snap back out of the shotgun. Griffin stepping up into the pocket. He's going to fire one deep, and that pass is caught as the receiver gets lost in coverage inside the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Tucker Cusano got lost in coverage as he was running a deep crossing route. Griffin, with his head up, found him. He caught the pass and just waltzed his way into the end zone for a 54-yard score.
Well, we see right away why Griffin is a D1 Baylor commit.
Yeah.
He's back in the pocket. The pocket collapses around him, and what does he do? He doesn't panic. He steps up in the pocket, sees his receiver coming across the field, puts out a perfect ball for him. I mean, that's how you play quarterback, Jacob. You step up in the pocket, you deliver the mail.
And this one's going to count. No flags on the field this time. So the Cowboys, despite having the touchdown called back on the punt return, are able to cash in on the drive. Bryson Patton on for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 2:21 to go in the first quarter, Coppell now has a 10-0 lead over Marcus. This is Marcus football night.
Are you ready to score big in the game of home ownership? Southern Collective Realty is here to get you into the end zone of your dream home. Hi, I'm Amy Turner, and I'm the broker and owner of Southern Collective Realty. I've been a Marcus mom for the last 6 amazing years and a great supporter of the Marauders.
I'm Sarah Grant, and I'm proud to be a Marauder mom and aunt. Together we bring in over 20 years of experience in Flower Mound and surrounding areas. Southern Collective Realty, where every home purchase is a victory.
Ready to kick off your search? Give us a call today.
The Coppell Cowboys take it 71 yards for their first touchdown of the ball game. The last 54 on a catch and run by number 1 Tucker Cusano. It is his 15th touchdown catch of the season, and he puts the Marauders up by a score. The Cowboys up by a score of 10-0. Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith here with you from Buddy Echols Field. As the kickoff is away, it's a high, deep kick. Again, it's going to go. This one's actually going to travel into the end zone this time for a touchback. Then the Marauders will take over at their own 25. Yeah, going back to that touchdown play, they obviously were in some kind of whatever coverage they were in. Brock Golwas had Cusano cross him, and he just let him go, expecting somebody to pick him up, and there was nobody there to pick him up.
No safety there at all, so we don't know. Maybe that was blown just kind of a zone, open hole there, or if somebody did have a man, and it's just wide open. But what a great job by Griffin to step up in the pocket with everything collapsing around him.
And honestly, yeah, that touchdown drive was possible because of the legs of Edward Griffin with a couple of really strong runs to keep the drive going, especially on a 3rd down. Snap back to Colton Nussmeier, and he's going to take a deep shot. He's got a man. Ryan Garza caught it inside the 30, the 20, the 10, and into the end zone to the house. The Marcus Marauders answer back in one play as Colton Nussmeier finds Ryan Garza deep up the seam for a 75-yard score.
Well, as a quarterback guy, I'm real excited about this quarterback matchup at the very least. And here's Nussmeier putting his chips all in. It's just from the slot. Garza's man-to-man with what looks like a safety there and runs right by him. No problem for Garza with a perfect pass thrown down the seam.
Yeah, he ran right by the free safety, Scott Fishpaw, on that for the 75-yard score. That is on the season, the 15th touchdown pass of the year. We had a penalty against Coppell on the play that was declined.
Well, that's how you answer.
Yeah, that's exactly how you answer. For Ryan Garza this season, as I lose my stats here, for Ryan Garza, that's his 4th touchdown catch of the season, which is kind of surprising considering how important he is to this offense. It's only his 4th touchdown grab. The extra point from Owen Gall is up and good, and the Marauders get right back into this ball game on a deep strike from Colton Nussmeier to Ryan Garza, and it's now 10-7 with only 2:11 to go here in the first quarter. This Coach Alexander talked about in his pregame interview they needed to find a way to get some explosive plays of their own. They just found it right there in the passing game with Ryan Garza getting behind. They also had the 22-yard catch on the previous drive, so they're getting the explosives that they were talking about.
Yeah, when you're trying to when you're the underdog, you don't have anything to lose. Here's the replay. You just see how far Garza is ahead. I mean, gosh, his defender is not even in the screen. There he comes.
He had 3-4 yards on him.
And then just flying down the field. You mentioned it earlier. He is the deep guy. Cooper Campbell obviously has a lot of catches as well, also can get downfield. Ryan Garza has a different gear.
He does. He showed his speed right there and blew past the coverage to get his team into the end zone.
Venture to guess it won't be in man anymore. And they do that because they are so strong in stopping the run and bringing the blitz, so you have to play man on the backside. But you can't play man against Garza like that with the safety. You just can't do it.
Yeah, Rhett Garza is just, I mean, he's been making plays like that all season. He really has. I mean, we saw the 22-yard catch earlier on the opening drive, and that wasn't even a speed situation. That was just him timing his jump right and having the ball in his sights the whole way, knowing that the defender wasn't looking at, just making a smart veteran play.
And we've seen him get open throughout the year and just have some misses, especially early on in the season. So he's been running by guys all year. Film will tell you, do not cover him one-on-one with the safety.
Santiago Diaz will be on to kick this one off. Again, Coppell with 3 players back to receive this, including number 16, Ethan Shuey, number 88, Jacoby Coleman, and number 4, Scott Fishball. This one is going to be caught just outside the 5-yard line by Shuey, coming to the near side, now cuts up the middle, almost breaks into the open field and is brought down at the 28-yard line by number 8, Easton Enfinger.
Well, he had moves on moves.
He did.
As he was running through there. Hips do not lie. He was wiggly.
They're going to mark him officially at the 29-yard line, so that'll be a 23-yard return for Shuey. And the Cowboys, now having had their lead cut to 3, will start this next possession at their own 29. So far in this game, the Marcus defense has had some opportunities to get some stops. They just either hadn't been able to make the tackle or, in a case down there and inside the 10, just an unfortunate spot on a 4th down. Snap back on 1st down. This one's going to be kept by Griffin coming around the near side and doesn't get the corner. Is going to get a yard out to the 30, but that's it as he kept that on the zone read handoff.
Easton Mitchell once again on the big tackle. We told you he is so good, and look where he comes from to make these plays. He's 12 yards back behind the, from the line of scrimmage, and he's coming up in run support and making tackles on zone reads like that. That's a great job.
Yeah, all 3 of these safeties are really good in run support coming up. Mitchell and Mayfield have had fantastic seasons. Brady Moore's been playing well instead of Jet Jonker since his injury. This back end of the Marcus defense has been their strength this year.
Yeah, don't forget how good those corners are as well.
2nd down, handoff coming the near side into the open field, out past the 40, up to midfield and into Marcus territory. That is the senior running back, Omarion Mbakwe, breaking loose over left tackle that time and getting to the Marcus 46-yard line.
That offensive line of Coppell just did a really good job of crashing everything down to the right to create that lane. And, I mean, he doesn't get touched till he gets up on the safety, and that's not good for Marcus.
They actually marked him down at the 49 of Marcus, so it's a 21-yard run for Mbakwe. Now they go empty here on 1st and 10. Griffin drops back, has time, going to fire deep down the middle. He has a man inside the 20 and brought down at about the 11-yard line is Tucker Casano there was a gap there in the back end of the coverage, and it was a strike by Griffin to get the ball to him. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the Marcus 11 after the gain of 38.
And folks, this is not a wide open window. You've got a route under where you had a defender to the side, a defender deep, and he puts that thing right on the money, threads the needle. What a throw.
That was a small window to fit it in, and Griffin fit it in perfectly. 1st and 10, they're actually going to mark him down a little further upfield. They're going to say he was down at the 13. Hand off to Mbakwe, and not much room this time. He's going to get a couple of yards down to the 11 before he gets driven back up the field. So a gain of 2 on 1st down for Mbakwe as Tony Lee comes off his block and makes another tackle.
I was going to say, Tony Lee, and he's bringing some friends with him this time from the linebacker position, it looked like. And here's the replay. He's just 3-4 guys in there at once, and who else is in there? Of course, Easton Mitchell coming in to help clean it up.
2nd and 8 now for the Cowboys at the Marcus 13, trying to answer that Marauder touchdown on the previous possession. Mbakwe in the backfield with Griffin. Snap back. Griffin throws it towards the end zone. Pass is caught for the touchdown. Casano with a great route, a beautiful throw from Griffin on a back shoulder fade. And honestly, the defense from Bradley Ezioki was there. That's just a perfect route and a perfect throw.
Yeah, he has thrown now 4 balls beyond the line of scrimmage. All 4 have been absolutely perfect, and that's how you teach the back shoulder throw. You've got the big receiver out there. These corners don't give up a lot, but hard to defend the perfect throw.
2nd touchdown of the ball game for Tucker Casano. And now the extra point team is on. For real this time. Bryson Patton. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Only 2 seconds left here in the first quarter, so we'll go ahead and keep it here as we're going to take a break here momentarily after the end of the quarter anyway.
Gonna see this replay. You'll see it's a catch. Look, he'll just catch the ball. He looks right over there. There's no guessing game. He's seen the pre-coverage. He knows what he wants to do. You see him checking, right? He's looking on both sides, so he knows where he wants to go with the ball. Now, after we get the snap, he's just going to set his feet. Right, he sets his feet, and he's going to throw the ball. Not a lot of air, perfect strike to that back shoulder. He's throwing right to the pylon is where he's targeting, and the receiver, it's up to him to shield off the corner to make that catch.
Yeah.
Does a great job.
And Cusano used his body perfectly that time to shield off Bradley Ezioki from that pass. Again, it's sometimes, with things in football, especially with things on offense, it's kind of like the Karate Kid with the crane kick. If do right, no can defense. And that was one of those situations, a back shoulder fade where the quarterback puts it in the perfect spot. The receiver bodies off the defender to keep the defender from getting to it. And it's, like you said, perfect line and everything.
Was that your Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I am a child of the 80s. The Karate Kid is an
Karate
awesome
Kid.
movie.
Look out for Cobra Kai. Coming out soon. Wow.
But that was a situation of sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the opposing team.
Yeah, you can't defend the perfect pass.
Perfect throw, perfect route, perfect everything. Kickoff is a line drive, but it's going to go very deep into the end zone and not be returned as a touchback will bring the ball out to the 25. So 2 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The Cowboys have moved back up by 10 after that 71-yard touchdown drive. Their second 71-yard touchdown drive of the night.
A lot going on in that first quarter, long first quarter.
A whole lot.
And now it's up to the Marauders to answer. And I'll tell you what, there's no play like 1st down to let one loose like they did last. But I can see now we're in a little bit of a cover 2. We got wait, no, we're not. We brought the other safety down, so lots of pressure coming.
Under center is Nussmeier. He's going to do a toss right here to Kelly Ikipi. He's got room outside the 30, out to the 35, driving blockers forward, out to the 37, a gain of 12 and a 1st down as we come to the end of the first quarter. So we go to quarter number 2. The Marauders will have a 1st and 10 at their own 37. When we come back, it is Coppell 17, Marcus 7, and this is Marcus Football Night.
Can you feel it? The paradigm shift. The rising intensity as the engines idle. Let the race begin. Fire up your appetite. Farm fresh beef, straight from the source, to our grill, and from the sea to your plate. All of our ingredients are fresh and made to order. Dine in today and taste the fast and furious difference. Order online or take it to go. And fire up your appetite at F&F Japanese Grill.
Fans experience amazing at Marty B's restaurants. Marty B's, Rustico, 1845. Marty B's Coffee, and now open branded bowls. And coming very soon, you can experience sizzling fajitas and wonderful.
We're back here at Buddy Echols Field for quarter number 2. Jacob Denimore, Tim Smith here with you. Marcus, 1st and 10 at their own 37, down 17-7 as we start the second quarter. Little quick throw out of the shotgun, deflected at the line of scrimmage. Second time tonight that a Coppell Cowboy has gotten his hands on the pass on a quick throw attempt to knock it down.
Here's the last big play by Kelly Akipi, and what we don't see before the play is Coppell brings their safety down on the other side, so on the defensive right side. And what does Marcus do? They just run a stretch play to the defensive left side, opposite where they were bringing that pressure. Great job by Marcus.
2nd and 10 for Marcus after the pass deflection. Jackson Morris moves over to the left side, the left side of the formation. Snap back, and again the pass is deflected. Man, the Coppell Cowboys right now are doing a great job of getting their hands up in the passing lane as they were trying to set up a little slip screen that time. That time the deflection was by the Tulsa commit, number 8, Blake Isbell.
Somehow you have to get these long defensive linemen, you got to get their hands down, and that time, no hands down, just coming through like a big old tree, and Nussmeier trying to get the ball over top of him.
I didn't see who caught it, but I guess somebody caught that deflected pass and lost 5 yards. That's a mistake. That's a mental mistake by Marcus. It's now 3rd and 15 back at the 32 as somebody decided to catch that deflected ball. Deep shot down the far sideline, and that's going to be a little bit overthrown. He was trying to get Charlie Burgesson, and it's going to be incomplete. Man, I did not see. I saw the pass get deflected. I didn't think anybody was going to catch that, but whoever that screen was to on the previous play for some reason decided to catch that ball instead of just letting it hit the turf.
Yeah, that is just not a good drive for Marcus.
That's just a mental mistake. It was going to be 3rd and long anyway.
Very tight coverage on the last ball that he tried. Nussmeier trying to get out to the sideline to Cooper Campbell, I believe it was.
So the punt team is on. Mayfield, a little more hang time on the punt this time, and hits it right on the sideline, keeping it away from Shuey. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 31-yard line, so that's where the Cowboys will take over after the 37-yard punt.
This is where the defense is going to have to rise up. You've given three drives, 3 scores. It's time to
got to find a way to get a stop.
It's time to see the Coppell punter if you're Marcus.
Got to find a way to get a stop here if you're Marcus, because, again, you can't let this Coppell team get too far out in front of you. 1st and 10, they're going to go with a 4-wide set, 3 receivers to the near side. And it is Mbakwe in the backfield. And Mbakwe is going to get it on the little zone read, going to power his way forward. Going to get about 3 to the 34 there on 1st down. Mayfield in on the stop.
Marcus doing a good job on those inside runs, on those zone reads. They're reading it well. They're reading their keys.
Yeah, the couple that have burned them is when they've gone like off tackle, right, or Griffin has bounced one out.
Even when Griffin bounced that one, he did run over about 4 guys.
Yes, he did.
Ran
through a number
Gotta
of
give him
tackles.
credit for that.
2nd and 7, shotgun snap back. Griffin looking downfield, has time. Now he gets pressured. Now he's going to get dropped in the backfield. The pressure finally got to him. That was number 45 for the Marcus Marauders, Lamar Lewis, in on the sack. Give credit to the Marcus secondary because Griffin did have time to throw initially, but the pocket eventually collapsed around him.
Well, that's what we call a coverage sack, and Griffin just too relaxed in the pocket. You gotta have a quicker clock than that. I know that you're feeling comfortable back there, but Marcus does have defensive players that are coming for you. You can't You can't just be that comfortable in the pocket.
Yeah, and it was either Will Harrison or Caleb Livingston who got back there as well as the pocket collapsed from both sides. 3rd and 14 now for the Cowboys. Snap back, play action. Griffin steps up. He's going to take off. There's nobody home. He's got a lot of room to run. He gets a first down out past the 45 as everybody bailed out that time, even the linebackers, and there was a ton of turf. And Griffin wasted no time. He saw that open space and just took off.
Well, I guess he showed me, Jacob. He turned the clock all the way off that time. He looked up, nobody open, sees the area, takes off, runs right through it for a first down.
Yeah, and if you're, again, if you're me, if I'm, one of the Marcus defenders, somebody has to be spying on Griffin the entire time. Snap back on first down, handoff. Going to be a couple of yards out to the 48 for Mbakwe that time. No, check that. That was number 18, Josh Locke, on the carry for 2.
And for whatever reason, Marcus has had some difficulty with these running quarterbacks this year. We saw Patrick Creighton Jr. a couple weeks ago with Hebron do whatever he wanted to do on the run against Marcus. So they've got to figure out a way to keep him contained inside that pocket.
That was a 19-yard run on 3rd and 14 that the Marauders gave up. 2nd and 8 now, as they check to the sideline.
Well, they see something they want to exploit.
They thought maybe Marcus might have jumped into the neutral zone for a second, but there was no flag. Snap back on 2nd down, play action. Griffin looking downfield, time, throws over the middle. That pass is caught inside the 30, inside the 20, and still moving inside the 15, dancing around, trying to find room to run, finding the corner inside the 10, and finally knocked out of bounds. Wow, the moves by Harry Hassman right there were impressive. He had Marcus defenders dancing all over the field, and he finally gets forced out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
And another tight window throw by Griffin just before the pressure is able to get to him. Again, he sat in that pocket for a long time, but he's able to find his 4th read. You could see him scanning the field off the play action and coming down to his underneath last read, tight window throw, and then the moves. I mean, Michael Jackson out there.
43 yards on the catch and run by Hassman. 1st and goal at the 9. Going to be a handoff to Mbakwe, driving forward inside the 5, down to the 4 before San Miguel brings him down. 2nd and goal now, just over 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
Coppell with just all the momentum on their side right now, feeling very comfortable in this offense and definitely in a groove. Might still be on their opening script for all we know at this point.
Changing out of personnel here for both teams. 2nd and goal at the 4. Shotgun snap back. It is going to be a handoff right up the gut. Driving forward down to the 2 is number 18, Josh Locke, before he was finally stood up that time. Jacob Knutson in on the stop.
Griffin might have been better off pulling that one because Marcus collapsed very, very, very quickly if you watch here. But no, actually, and that's why he didn't pull. You'll see 0.
That was Knutson, and then Knutson waited and then went in and got the tackle from behind.
So Knutson really making that play happen because he did want to pull it, and it looked from up here initially like he had the opportunity.
Power formation on 3rd and goal from the 2. Handoff to number 18, and it is Josh Locke, and he kind of dives forward, and he gets the ball. They finally come in. It just kind of falls over the pile, and they say he broke the plane. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Josh Locke gets Coppell on the board with another touchdown.
It's a very late signal. I guess they had to wait for the pile to
he just
undo just a little bit.
He just kind of threw his body into the pile, and when they unpiled it, it looked like he got the ball across the goal line. So a 2-yard touchdown run for Josh Locke, and the Coppell Cowboys are on the board again. That is his 7th touchdown run of the season. Extra point, nope, never mind. Flags come out. Going to have a false start, back it up 5 yards. He got tripped up before he got to the goal line, but I guess as he went into the pile, was able to get that ball across. Took him a few seconds to unpile everything. But, man, you can see why this Coppell Cowboy offense is so hard to stop. They have weapons at all their receiver positions, 2 running backs that could carry the load if need be, a quarterback who can run it or throw it. This is a very complete offense.
They have receivers that can get yards after catch.
Extra point coming from the 25 this time, but doesn't make a difference. It's up and good. So 6:49 to go in the first half, and the Cowboys have extended their lead They now lead 24-7. This is Marcus football night.
Fall will be here before you know it. Is your home ready? Upgrade your home with Pella Windows and Doors for only $199 a month. Our beautiful, energy-efficient windows come with a lifetime warranty, ensuring your family stays comfortable through every season. Call now for a free consultation and make sure your home is prepared with Pella.
Marauders the Cowboys punch it in for another touchdown. This one finished off by number 18, Josh Locke, on a 2-yard touchdown run, and the Cowboys now have a 24-7 lead. Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith back here with you at Buddy Echols Field. This kickoff is once again going to go about 8 yards deep in the end zone for the touchback, and the Marauders will take over from their 25-yard line. That was a 79-yard touchdown drive that time by Coppell. And again, one of the key plays on that drive were the legs of Edward Griffin, who scrambled on 3rd and long at the very beginning of that drive. 3rd and 14, was able to scramble for 19 to keep the drive alive, and they eventually punched it into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing it all tonight. He's using his arm, using his legs. He's throwing in tight windows. He's got 3 tight window throws already here tonight.
1st and 10 for the Marauders. Snap back to Nussmeier. Little throw out to the near side, caught, and stepping out of bounds is Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi as he tried to break a tackle. Stepped out at the 28 for only a gain of 3.
I don't know if he stepped out or if his knee might have hit the ground.
Nah, I think as he was trying to break the tackle, he stepped out of bounds there.
I think we're going to get a replay maybe. I challenge your ruling. I think his knee hit on the ground.
2nd and 7 now for the Marauders at their 28.
Running, I'm just saying.
Handoff up the middle. Nice run by Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi. Out to 1st down yardage at the 35 to move the sticks.
And that's the first time they've been able to get some yards in between the tackle box like that. We know that Coppell's going to bring all the pressure. Tradio has the replay up, so we're going to look here. Oh! Knee down on the ground. Both knees hit the ground.
All right, I stand corrected.
And his foot might have slid out of bounds. We can both be right. Both things can be true, Jacob.
1st and 10 for the Marauders at their 35 as they move the chains. In motion is Garza. Handoff up the middle. Some room. Nice job outside on the blocking. Kelly-Ikipi out to the 40 to the 41. That's a gain of 6. Let's see where they're going to mark this. They are going to say let's see. Nope. Looks like we had a flag on the field. Or did we? There's some discussion. There was a flag dropped. Oh, hands to the face penalty against the Cowboys. That's a 15-yard penalty. And that'll move the ball after the run into Coppell territory. They'll just tack that onto the end of the run and move it down to the Coppell 44.
How fancy is this? I think that's the first time this year we've been able to hear the referee and what he has to say. So thank you, Coppell, for
their microphone is working this week.
Microphones are working.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys, or for the Marauders in Cowboy territory. A toss sweep this time and nowhere to go. As stuffed right at the line of scrimmage is Mason Jones, who gets shoved in the back as he was trying to get up off the ground. Titus Roberson's lucky he didn't draw a flag that time, as he shoved Mason Jones in the back after no gain as he was trying to get up off the ground.
That's a tough play, that toss sweep, kind of zone blocking for the lineman. Not my favorite run play, personally. I think we talked about that last week a little bit.
2nd and 10 now for the Marauders. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the half. Receiver coming in motion. It's Cooper Campbell. Dropping back is Nussmeier. Now he's going to step up, and he's going to get dropped. Unfortunately, not able to get away, but the ball actually Ball didn't come loose, but guys were shoving once again after the play. Nussmeier got dropped for a loss of a yard, actually a loss of 2 on the sack.
It's very aggressive on the line of scrimmage tonight, Jacob. I'm noticing on both sides that after the plays are over that we're still continuing on a little bit. I have a feeling here pretty soon the referees are going to grab control of this.
Yep, last couple of plays,
before it gets out of control.
We've definitely had that. Third and 12 now for the Marauders. And flags come down, and that time Nussmeier didn't get the snap off in time. So back it up 5 more yards.
And you hate those pre-snap penalties that you can control. We were in 3rd and short, move back now to 3rd and medium. Well,
back it up into
3rd and long.
Yeah, it's into Marcus territory now at the 49, 3rd and 17 for the Marauders. Snap back out of the shotgun. Nussmeier has to step away from pressure, and he's going to get brought down. There was no place really for him to get out of the pocket, and then the pocket collapsed around him. Coming in that time was number 12, Uche Odemegwu, the senior defensive lineman. He was the first one to get there and bring down Nussmeier. Also in on the play was number 92, Aduvi Nesiyama, the junior, and they drop him back at the 41 for a loss of 8.
And the scary thing for Marcus, that was just a 4-man rush. They did not blitz. There was nothing exotic about that. It's just all 4-man one at the line of scrimmage, and Nussmeier had to try to get out of there and just didn't have the ability.
Another line drive punt this time, and it's caught going a little bit backwards toward the sideline by the punt returner Shuey, but he's able to kind of pick his way forward for about a 10, 12-yard return. And see where they mark him out. They're going to mark him out at the 40. Nice return by Shuey. And the Cowboys will take over with 2:55 to go in the half.
It's like the old saying, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. That time they do a good job, does Marcus, of kicking to the short sideline to make sure that Chewy doesn't have an outlet to get out. You don't want to give him the wide side of the field and let him use those moves and his speed, so you keep them hemmed in on the short side. I love that. Great job.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys at their own 40, already up 24-7. Fake the little pop pass, and Griffin fires one over the middle, and that pass is caught. And making the stop was Easton Mitchell on Tucker Casano as he was running that deep drag route once again that he scored on a touchdown earlier. This time he gets stopped by Mitchell, but not before he moves the chains after a 14-yard catch.
Making the passing game look really easy tonight is Griffin. I don't think the ball has hit the ground yet for him.
I don't think it has either. 2:34 to go now as the clock is running.
Now he hasn't thrown it a bunch, but still.
I believe he is perfect on the night. 1st and 10 at the Marcus 46. Going to be a handoff on the zone read concept. As Mbakwe is able to find room right up the gut. Going to get about 4.5 on 1st down.
Decent job there by number 28, Vincent Bowie, to come up and make the tackle. If he doesn't get in there and triple him up early, it could have been a much bigger gain than that.
And he has had an incompletion. Remember the 3rd down play on the opening drive that was knocked down in the end zone. So there's at least
you're right. You're right. He did have the one incompletion.
2nd and 6 now for the Cowboys at the 42. Dropping back, Griffin actually gets flushed this time to his left. Escaping, trying to find room to throw. Is going to end up just tucking it and getting what he can. Going to step out at the 41. Only a gain of 1 that time. He was chased all across. Tony Lee was chasing him right down the line of scrimmage and forced him out of bounds. Griffin, he's one of those quarterbacks. He has that running ability, but you notice his head is always up and looking downfield as he starts to get out.
And there was 3 things working against him. 1, he only had 1 wide receiver on the side of the field in which he was running. 2, Tony Lee was chasing him. And 3, he's a right-hander going to his left, trying to flip his hips. But again, no one to throw the ball to because the one receiver was double covered downfield.
Another chance for the Marauders to get a stop here as they go empty on 3rd and 6. Griffin drops back, gets blitzed. He's going to step up. He has room to run, but the flag is down. He's inside the 25, still on his feet, down to the 19 before he gets brought down, but I think this one's coming back.
I would tend to agree with you. It's in that area of holding.
Yeah, Taylor Haslam, the corner, came in off the slot in a blitz that time, but he as he got to Griffin, Griffin stepped up and got away from him, but there was a hold on the play to bring it back.
If you're Marcus here, you got to be thinking about the stop. There's a minute 29 left. You get the ball coming out of half. If you can kind of minimize the damage that's been done in this half and get a stop here, go in the locker room not feeling too bad. You're still in this thing.
3rd and 16 now for the Cowboys. And again, somebody's got to have eyes on Griffin on this play. The last couple of times they've had 3rd and long in the empty, Griffin has not had anybody spying him. 3rd and 16 at the Coppell 49-yard line after the penalty. They once again go empty as the running back motions out. Drop back for Griffin. He's just going to step up in the pocket, and he's going to fire one deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Just a little bit too tall. It was close, but it was just a touch too tall for Harry Hassman, and the pass falls incomplete, and the Marauders get the stop.
I mean, not a bad throw considering he was essentially on the run. He threw that off 1 foot, about 50 yards, just a little overthrow. Great defense on the back end to stay with your guy there. And they get the big stop they needed with a minute left. Certainly have the kicking game to at least get in field goal range.
An opportunity here is you have Cooper Campbell back to receive the first punt of the night from Coppell. As back to punt is the kicker, Bryson Patton. He rolls to his right and boots it high, and it's going to be caught at the 12-yard line. Fair caught, nice high hanger. Did exactly what they needed from the midfield spot. He pinned the opposing team inside the 20.
Yeah, I mean, you flip that field position and make them go from their own 12-yard line. This is where the Coppell defense can come out and kind of let loose a little bit.
Only 56 seconds to go here in the first half, but Marcus does have all 3 timeouts to work with if they need to. 1st and 10 for the Marauders.
See what this first play is. Typically, you're going to look at a draw, a screen, kind of a jump starter play.
Well, I mean,
this is to see how it looks and what you're going to do next.
Marauders get the ball to start the second half, so you want to try and get something out of this if possible. Get some points on the board. Snap back. Here comes a corner blitz. Stepping up. Little pass is caught by Garza over the middle. He's got room to run. Out past the 30 and brought down at the 33-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 32. It's a gain of 20 for Rhett Garza on the drag route.
I love what they did. They brought Garza just underneath shallow to be able to replace the blitz that came, and Nussmeier reads it perfectly.
Snap back to Nussmeier quickly. Little pass, and just a little bit too far for Garza that time as they tried to hit him on the quick out. That'll make it 2nd and 10 now at the 32.
Well, they've made Nussmeier somewhat uncomfortable back there.
Yes,
now you
have.
can see when he's throwing the ball, his feet are moving a lot, and that's when you're that inaccurate on a short pass like that, that's because you're not setting your feet and throwing the ball accurately the way you should be, and that's because of the pressure that's been coming all night long.
39 seconds now to go in the half. Again, the Marauders do have their timeouts. Showing blitz is Coppell. And they're bringing the house. Pass down over the sideline and incomplete. Tried to hit Cooper Campbell on the out route. It was well covered by Scott Fishpaw, but that one, again, you talk about comfort level. Okay, that was Burgesson. That was 1, not 7. My fault. That was Charlie Burgesson on the out route. And so it's going to be now 3rd and 10, 36 seconds to go here in the half.
Just can't seem to get anything going in rhythm for the Marauders offense, right? They had the one drive, and since then I say drive, that was just a long throw from Nussmeier on 1st down. So other than that, they haven't been able to really move the ball.
They've had a couple of possessions where they would get a 1st down or 2, but then get stopped, whether they have a penalty or a mistake on a play. And now it's 3rd and long, trips to the near side here on 3rd down. Nussmeier dropping back. Here comes the pressure. He's going to fire one deep down the middle of the field, and it just goes over everybody. Garza cut his route off, but Nussmeier had to get rid of that ball probably before he wanted to because of the pressure.
Well, Garza does the right thing because 3 guys are back playing over top, and their job is to make sure he doesn't get deeper than them. So he just breaks it off under the dig, but Nussmeier had already let the ball go by the time he had made that decision.
And at least for the moment, the Marauders are going to leave the offense on the field here. 30 seconds left in the first half, and now the punt team comes on.
I was going to say, that's risky.
It looked like they were going to take that risk for a second, but now the punt team will come on. Just too much time left in the half to try something like that this deep in your own territory.
Right. Agreed. And you get the ball back.
You do get the ball to start the third quarter.
Go down, get a score, right back in this thing.
Mayfield punts this one again towards the Coppell sideline. It's going to hit and bounce out of bounds inside the 35. Looks like they're going to mark it down officially at the 30-yard line.
That's a good job by
nice
Mayfield.
Job.
Once again,
38-yard punt.
Yeah, as long as Chewy can't return the ball.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. You're hemming them in. I like the strategy.
24 seconds left to go here in the half. We'll see what Coppell does if they try to attack down the field. They've got timeouts as well that they can use. Again, we see how good this Coppell team is and why they are undefeated and ranked 9th in the state. They got players on both sides of the ball that can make plays. And they've been doing so here in this first half.
Well, they're very aggressive. They're very mean. They're very fast. They're very strong. They're a good football team. But Marcus is right in this thing. Don't let the score fool you. Marcus is they're really in this game.
Snap back. Griffin gets pressured and gets dropped down. I'll tell you what, nice job again by Tony Lee, who really has had a good first half of this Marcus defense as Griffin tried to take off up the field and gets brought down right at the line of scrimmage by Tony Lee.
Tony Lee is a monster. He's been doing it all year. He's been the anchor of that defensive line. Folks, we're going to have a special presentation for you at halftime tonight. We're going to play the last 24 minutes of the Mound Showdown during halftime. So don't go away. Make sure to get your snacks and get back and watch that last 24 minutes of a great game.
I look up to him like all through my life. He's 9 years old, still pushing. I love him so much. Go on.
It's going to be 2nd down and 11 as there was actually a loss of a yard on that sack by Tony Lee.
8 seconds to go. You wouldn't think we'd see anything extravagant here. If I'm Coppell, I'm okay just kind of taking a knee and going into the locker room. I'd be surprised if they try anything here.
At this point, yeah, I mean, after getting the loss on first down, there's only 14 seconds left in the half. Coppell's the one that took the timeout, so
they have
still
2 left. So
they still might try to fire something deep down the middle of the field here.
Well, they are certainly not in a kneeling formation, so.
2nd and 11 at their own 29-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side, single receiver up top. Griffin stepping up in the pocket. Now he'll take off. Got room to run. He's going to get out to the 40-41. It's going to be a first down before he gets dropped down, but only 6 seconds left in the half. And I'm not seeing Coppell calling a timeout, so I think they're going to let this one go. I think that's going to do it. It is for the first half as the Cowboys not able to get the deep shot they were looking for, and they will let this clock run out. So the Cowboys show why they are as good as they are. 24 points. They score on each of their first 4 possessions, a field goal and 3 touchdowns. Marcus is not able to answer, and they're going to have a lot of work to do, but they will get the ball to start the second half here from Buddy Echols Field as they trail 24-7. Going to go to halftime, and as I said, we're going to have a special presentation for you at half. Going to show you some of the second half of the Mound Showdown from a couple of weeks ago here on Marcus Football Night. 24-7 Coppell, halftime coming up here on Marcus Football Night. 40 yards. Elijah Nick leading the way on that. They shut down Philly.
Sure did. Second and long now, and then this other one again. Not in a hurry, but you know, that's how it's done.
Yeah. Second and 9. Snap back. Umpire. Near side one by Campbell. Yeah. Knocked out of bounds. Instead of a third and 10, it's the 30-yard line. It's marked out of bounds. That'll make it 30.
High school time to go. They went big stuff.
Side is the Jackson and Buster. That's up. Back and up the middle. First down inside the 35. Inside the 30.
Nice run by Kelly. Is an exceptional athlete. No fear for him to jump out and not jump through. He's very smart about the way he runs.
To your side here for a second. Snap back, that's fine. Into his body. And now here comes the pressure. He gets away from it. Now he takes off up the field and has a first down inside the 15 and down near the 12-yard line. What a great job by Nussmeier to somehow get out of jail and get all the way down to the 12, first and 10.
I'm not sure how he got out of all that. He sat in the pocket for an extraordinarily long time. And then somehow was able to break through the tackles. And one of the defensive linemen down here, foul mountains, number 11.
Yeah,
That's Michael Page. He's one of the guys that missed the tackle, comes out of the game very frustrated.
That was a gain of 11 by Nussmeier when it looked like he was going to get sacked. Jet sweep action on first down inside the 5 and into the end zone. Rhett Garza on the jet sweep the second time tonight they've given it to him. And he breaks it into the end zone from 12 yards out. And the Jaguars get the touchdown they need. And now the offense will stay on the field to try and make it a 3-point game.
Little Rhett Garza special there on the jet sweep. We've seen him do it a million times. He pulled it off in overtime a couple weeks ago for the win. Rhett Garza, he is a staple of this offense.
That's Garza's second touchdown of the year on the ground. Only his second carry of the night. But both of them were big yardage, and now we've got a very weird thing. They do a, I don't know what, ring around the rosy. They fake a reverse. Kelly Ikipi trying to get to the end zone, and he's not going to make it. They did a little ring around the rosy, then broke out into formation. Kelly Ikipi took the handoff, faked a reverse to Jake Torgeson, and tried to keep it and cut up, but the Flower Mound defense did a good job of staying with him and making the tackle.
Everybody wants to be the Kansas City Chiefs, Jacob.
That was so. I've never seen that
before. The Chiefs did that last year.
Ring around the rosy?
The Chiefs did that last year, and they ran around in a big circle, and then Travis Kelce ended up being the quarterback.
Yeah.
It was a little bizarre, but.
Well, you give credit to the Flower Mound defense for staying with the play.
Yeah, that can get a little wacky, right, if you're on defense.
Yeah. Kelly Ikipi faked the handoff, tried to cut up, and couldn't get to the end zone. So
but now we're crucial time, though, 5:36.
Yep, 5:36 to go.
You need ball back, and then you're going to need urgency to score. But first thing, you need the ball back.
And that was such a big stop by Flower Mound because it makes it a touchdown game still instead of a 3-point, instead of a field goal game. So the Marauders will kick it away. They have all 3 of their timeouts, do the Marauders, so if their defense can come up with a stop, they don't necessarily have to use the timeouts on defense, but they do have them available if they need to.
Timeouts are for offense, Jacob.
But they're well, the problem is they're going to have to get a stop.
100%. They need the ball
which
back.
they haven't been able to. They haven't really been able to get stops since the first quarter.
The first quarter, this Flower Mound offense found themselves a little groove, and they have not come out of it. It's been a real exciting game.
And they go with an onside kick here, and the ball is loose, and I think the Marcus Marauders came up with it. They came up with a surprise onside, and they do recover. It is Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi who came up with the ball. It took it a minute to go 10 yards, but once it crossed midfield, the Marauders pounced on it.
I mean, here we are talking about need a stop. Forget needing a stop. We're just going to get the ball back, and that's exactly what they did. They surprised everybody.
They did, because that was not an onside formation. They were lined up like they were going to kick it deep. The Jaguars weren't really in an onside kick recovery formation, and they surprised everybody with the onside kick, and they recovered the ball at the Jaguar 47.
And Nussmeier asking his student section to settle down a little bit. It's very, very loud over there, and he's having a hard time communicating in a high school stadium, folks.
Well, like we said, it is a packed house here tonight at Neely Wilson Stadium. Both sides full.
The bleachers are shaking over there. There is a lot of excitement.
So the onside kick works for the Marauders. Down 5 points, they take over. Handoff on first down. Not much doing. Nice job by Kelly-Ikipi to just basically run through contact and still get a couple of yards on that play.
This is where you got to be careful as Marcus, because ideally you get into the end zone, you need to score, but ideally it's going to be with very, very little time left.
Well,
so no hurry here whatsoever.
And in this case, if they do get the touchdown, they'll go for 2 again since they missed the last one to try and go up 3. Second and a short 8 here, just inside the 45. Snap back, another toss to the near side, room to run inside the 40. First down inside the 35. Isaiah down to the 30. Nice blocking on the outside that time. A nice job of dancing in and out of lanes by Kelly-Ikipi, and he gets 15 yards, 1st and 10.
And forget going slow, I guess. No reason to hurry, but no reason to go slow either.
Well, and both teams
still taking their time.
Both teams have full complements of timeouts to use wherever they want to. So maybe if you're Marcus, you just run your offense and just go. Yes, you want to take time off the clock, but paramount is getting into that end zone. 1st and 10 at the 30. Under center, Nussmeier fakes the toss, rolls to his right, looking for a man. He lobs it, caught by Garza inside the 10 and brought down, knocked out of bounds. Nice throw that time from Nussmeier, caught by Garza. He's still down over on the sideline, slow to get up, but he gets all the way down to the 7-yard line, a gain of 23 yards.
Garza was lined up on the right side of the field. They faked the run to the right, but Garza comes back under the formation. They tried to pick him up, but guess what? The defender's now looking back because they're worried about Nussmeier's legs as he's taken off on a few runs. Allows Garza to get that separation, and what a nice throw. Lob over the defender, and what a big play for the Marauders now inside the 10-yard line.
Garza stayed down for a minute, but it looks like he is up and moving back towards the sideline. Yeah, he is. He has gotten up and gone back to the sideline now. So 24-yard gain, 1st and goal at the 6 for the Marauders, down 5. Shotgun snap back. It's a fake. Nussmeier takes it himself inside the 5, trying to get into the end zone, and he is. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown! Colton Nussmeier powers his way into the end zone. That might be the first time all year we've seen him run a straight quarterback power like that, and he used his athleticism to bowl his way in, and he gives the Marauders the lead back.
Incredible run by Nussmeier. Not only does he make a man miss immediately in the backfield, then he makes a couple guys miss at the goal line. I thought he was going to jump inside. He jumps back outside, and then he runs over a man at the end of it, and just for fun, and touches the pylon with the football to make sure it's a touchdown. Heads up play. Great to know where you are on the field. Get you a little pancake run over as you get in there. Now they're going for 2.
This to get a 3-point lead. Shotgun snap back. Nussmeier immediately pressured, rolling to his left, fires towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Pass was a little bit low as he was on the run, and Garza couldn't scoop it up off the turf. So it's still a 1-point lead for the Marauders. 4:10 to go in the ball game. Marcus leads Flower Mound 33-32. This is Marcus football night.
Can you feel it? The paradigm shift. The rising intensity as the engines idle. Let the race begin. Fire up your appetite. Farm fresh beef, straight from the source, to our grill, and from the sea to your plate. All of our ingredients are fresh and made to order. Dine in today and taste the fast and furious difference. Order online or take it to go and fire up your appetite at F&F Japanese Grill.
So the Marauders recover the onside kick and make it count as they go 47 yards on that touchdown drive, finished off by a fantastic 6-yard run by Colton Nussmeier. Unfortunately, the 2-point conversion was no good, so the Marauders only lead by 1 with 4:10 to go in the ball game. It's 33-32. What a Mound showdown this has been, Tim.
Incredible game. Best game of the year that we've been able to witness so far.
This time Diaz will boot it deep, and it's going to go into the end zone about 5 yards deep for the touchback, and the Jaguars will take over at their own 25. 4:10 to go in the ball game. They have their full complement of timeouts and are only down by a point. And we have seen their sophomore kicker tonight hit one from 43 yards out. So you know he at least had, you got to think that he had a few yards of room on that. So you got to think the goal would be at least get it down to about the 28 to give him a shot.
Yeah, this is going to be a true 4-minute offense. The last thing that Flower Mound wants is for the Marauders to get the ball back at all in this one. So they're going to try to run this thing all the way down unless they can get a chunk play.
1st and 10 at the 25. Out of the shotgun is Spinks. And he will hand it off to Simpson, who finds a little bit of room over the right side, but not much before Golis brings him down just across the line of scrimmage, only a gain of 2.
This is when Golis shines brightest, is in these fourth quarter moments. We've seen it time and time again.
2nd down and 8 now for the Jaguars.
Golis is setting up the entire defense, the Texas Tech commit.
Receiver in motion. Shotgun snap back. And Erdman, never mind. It's thrown away that time. I thought that was Erdman taking it, but it was Spinks. He was able to avoid getting a huge loss on a potential sack and was able to throw that ball away to save the down.
They certainly had him back there, but he's just able to slip through the tackle. Now you've got 3rd down, but if they can't get this, you got to wonder, is it 4-down territory? I don't think so.
Not with 3 timeouts,
You got to put your defense back on the field. So this is a must 1st down considering how well Marcus has moved the ball tonight.
That was a great job by Golis pressuring the quarterback Spinks that time. 3rd and 8 for the Jaguars at their own 27. Snap back to Spinks out of the shotgun, looking downfield. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it. The pass is caught. No, it's dropped. It wouldn't have been a 1st down anyway, as Jamison Mayfield hit the receiver Erdman right as the ball arrived and knocked it loose, so he couldn't make the catch, but it would have been well short of the 1st down regardless.
And Mayfield, 3 timeouts. I think you've got to punt this away, Jacob, because if you don't get this with this offense.
Spinks in the shotgun with Simpson to his left. Snap back. Spinks dropping, rolling to his left, getting pressured. Fires it off, and that pass is out of the reach of the intended wide receiver. He tried to hit Eli Brown and just put too much on it, and the Flower Mound offense fails on 4th down, and the Marauders come up with a massive stop.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Your best receiver just came out of the game. The guy that's really been having a fabulous second half, he comes out of the game, and now you put the pressure on the quarterback. You roll him out, but we get pressure. The Marauders do at the last minute on the quarterback, make him get that throw out.
Yeah.
Just an arid throw, and that hasn't been their game tonight.
No, it's been the running attack
run game,
because Noah Spinks Noah Spinks going into this drive was 14 of 19, but had only thrown for the ball for 80 yards tonight. It had been.
Again, I don't like the call. I like the punt. You've got 3 timeouts, 3 minutes left.
Try to get a stop.
Now you've basically put Marcus in scoring position.
1st and 10 for the Marauders at the Flower Mound 27. Up a point here in the Mound showdown. Under center is Nussmeier. 2 tight end formation. Hand off to Kelly Ikipi. Picks his way through. Breaking tackles all the way down to the 20. That's going to be a gain. They're going to mark him at the 21. That'll be a gain of 6. Timeout called by Flower Mound. Coach Basil gets the first of his 3 timeouts with 3:11 to go after the 6.5-yard gain for Kelly Ikipi. And again, right now it's just about getting first downs. You don't have to score if you're Marcus. At this point, with Flower Mound having to use their timeouts on defense, if you can get a first down, maybe 2 first downs, you can end this ball game.
And they're kind of close. I think if you get 2 first downs, they might score just.
Yeah, but my point is
100%. They have to. They're going to use these timeouts. Once they're out of timeouts, as long as you have the ball, Marcus, that's pretty much game, set, match here. I'd be surprised if we see anything outside of Kelly Ikipi or Rhett Garza on an end around.
You might see. You could see. It's going to be Kelly Ikipi. I'm almost certain.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be shocked if we
it's your senior.
If we don't see just handoffs all the way down.
2nd and about 3.5. 3 tight ends in the ball game. Hand off to Kelly Ikipi, and he is very close to a first down. He's about a yard short at the 18. Brian Basil calls his 2nd timeout. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Marauders. We'll take this one with him. 3:06 to go. Three minutes and 6 seconds to go in the 2024 Mound Showdown. The Marcus Marauders face a 3rd and a yard at the Flower Mound 18. Only 1 timeout left for the Jaguars to use as the Marauders try and put this game away. 3 tight ends in the ball game. And a very weird setup there and a very odd quarterback sneak that doesn't get anything. I think the ball got snapped early, because there was a bunch of guys not moving at the snap, and Nussmeier tried to sneak it, and there was nowhere for him to go. Yeah, there was something screwball on that snap count. And the final timeout used now by Flower Mound is there was no gain. It's now 4th and about a half a yard. That was very odd.
I didn't know if somebody
just because it puts you up 4. I would think about it.
I'm giving the ball to Kelly Ikipi
you're going to try and end
right behind those tight ends.
4th and a yard for the Marauders. Garza in motion. Snap back. Hand off to Kelly Ikipi. He gets the first down inside the 15, down to the 14. It's a gain of 4, and they move the chains. The Marauders come up with the conversion.
Just power football, and now 2:54 left. They're just going to try to end the game with the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
Up 1.
They're not going to be able to run the clock out. You're going to need 1 more first down to do that. But you can run the play clock inside 5 seconds on every snap. Yeah, you don't snap this ball. You snap this right before the clock hits 0. And now the Marauders call timeout. That's their first of the half.
That's curious.
There was something Coach Alexander saw that he didn't like. I don't know if the guys weren't lined up right or what it was. Now, he called that with about 5 seconds left on the play clock, so they still ran time. But there was something there that he didn't like, and so he called timeout again, better safe than sorry in that case, because it's not like you didn't save them very much time.
We've got a light show going on.
That's the Marcus
in the Marcus. Here we go. We got a little. Look at that. That is a beautiful sight.
I don't know if they're waving goodbye to Flower Mound, they might want to wait just a second because this game is not over. But
well, they were chanting "Go home" something over there, and now they've got the lights out there. Say, hey, turn out the lights. The party's over.
Easy, guys.
It's not over yet.
Yep. 1st and 10
That's
for
a
the
cool
Marauders.
scene,
it is pretty cool. 1st and 10 for the Marauders at the Jaguar 14. There's 2:27 to go in the ball game. No timeouts left for the Jaguars. So, again, we talked about The Marauders can't run timeout without getting another first down. Handoff, Kelly Ikipi inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's gonna, what a smart play by the senior. The Jaguars were basically trying to let him score to save time, and as soon as he got to the 4-yard line, he went down.
He just laid down now. They're gonna have to score. They're just, by the clock, I would think. I'm not a mathematician, so I don't want to try to do the math here.
But regardless, that was a very smart play from Isaiah Kelly Ikipi to, at the very least, run more time, because they can run this down under 2 minutes before they snap it here. I think they're going to let this run down to 1 second, call a timeout, and then decide what to do. That is what Mike Alexander is doing right now. He's about to call timeout. And he does. He calls timeout with 1 second left on the play clock. That's his second timeout.
Essentially, you could run 4 quarterback sneaks, but just kneel them, you know, I mean, you could take it.
They were going victory formation. That's what they're going to do. I think maybe Coach Alexander needed a minute to do the math and make sure.
Yeah, get his calculator out real quick.
And that's what Nussmeier does. Kneels down on first down, and now you
got 40 seconds.
Yeah, now you'll be able to kneel this down on third down and end it. And wow, what a comeback by the Marauders here in this fourth quarter with 8.5 minutes to go. They were down by 12 points, or 11 points, excuse me. They get a touchdown to pull within 5. They miss the 2-point conversion, but then they go with the onside kick with 5.5 minutes to go, catching Flower Mound off guard. They recover it. They drive down again, score the touchdown, and then come up with a massive defensive stop on a 4th down play by Flower Mound. Nussmeier running as much time as he can off the clock before he kneels down, and one more will do it. So the Marauders, with one more kneel down, will secure this victory, a massive, much-needed victory. It will be their 3rd straight win in the Mound Showdown, their 5th in 6 drives.
What a scene! If they could storm the field right now, they would. We would have that situation.
Just an unbelievable job by Marcus in this fourth quarter on the comeback. And as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, in order to keep any kind of realistic playoff hopes alive, they had to win this game tonight, and they are going to do it.
Step 1 complete, and that's what was in front of them. That's all they cared about.
Does. See ya. 2 walking it into the corral. Rondell Carradine takes.
Richland, the Royals, trying to pick up their first district win. Tough shot by Soul. He responds.
Bam! And he hit that from the
Krispy Kreme, Trey.
Krispy Kreme. He had icing on the start K-meter. Ooh, he does right there with an awesome off-speed. Fastball.
Boy, that's going to be deep.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, ball. Get out.
Get boy. Yes, sir. Hayden Tatum. Did you?
Standouts on this Trinity defense. The only sophomore starting in the group as Rendon goes over the top. Got a man. It is. Called for the touchdown, the Boyd.
Got a man. That's
this time there are no flags down. And Boyd is
going to go.
Like the DB. I like the call. Not a bad idea. A little play action boot maybe.
I like that. I just feel like you really need to try to get to the edge.
Fall will be here before you know it. Is your home ready? Upgrade your home with Pella Windows and Doors for only $199 a month. Our beautiful, energy-efficient windows come with a lifetime warranty, ensuring your family stays comfortable through every season. Call now for a free consultation and make sure your home is prepared with Pella.
Southern Collective Realty is here to get you into the end zone of your dream home. Hi, I'm Amy Turner, and I'm the broker and owner of Southern Collective Realty. I've been a Marcus mom for the last 6 amazing years and a great supporter of the Marauders.
I'm Sarah Grant, and I'm proud to be a Marauder mom and aunt. Together we bring in over 20 years of experience in Flower Mound and surrounding areas. Southern Collective Realty, where every home purchase is a victory.
Ready to kick off your search? Give us a call today.
Can you feel it? The paradigm shift. The rising intensity as the engines idle. Let the race begin. Fire up your appetite. Farm fresh beef, straight from the source, to our grill, and from the sea to your plate. All of our ingredients are fresh and made to order. Dine in today and taste the fast and furious difference. Order online or take it to go and fire up your appetite at F&F Japanese Grill.
Fans experience amazing at Marty B's restaurants. Marty B's, Rustico, 1845. Marty B's Coffee, and now open Branded Bowls. And coming very soon, you can experience sizzling fajitas and wonderful margaritas at their all-new Cactus Canyon. Experience amazing at any and all Marty B's locations. Tonight's game is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates, proud sponsors of Marcus High School football. Whether it's a game-winning touchdown or a fierce tackle, we're here to keep our athletes strong and in the game. From sports injuries to joint pain, our team of top orthopedic specialists is dedicated to providing the best care to keep you moving. Visit us at Orthopedic Associates, where your health is our victory.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price for you.
Contact Mike Bean for your personal price plan today.
Back here at Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School. Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith here with you as the Coppell High School Marching Band is still wrapping up their halftime routine. Your score at the half, the number 9 ranked Coppell Cowboys lead the Marcus Marauders 24-7, with the Marauders having a hill to climb in the second half if they're going to keep their hopes alive for the playoff spot. Again, it's win or go home for the Marcus Marauders. If they win, they'll have a chance to get into the playoffs tomorrow night, depending on what happens with Flower Mound and Hebron. But the first things first is they have to find a way to win this game, and they trail 24-7. That first half, we do have some unofficial stats for you in that first half. Coppell had over 300 yards of total offense, 306 to 134 for Coppell, 138 on the ground and 168 through the air. Edward Griffin was 8 of 12, the Baylor commit, for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. They also contributed 40 yards on the ground. One of his 2 senior running backs, Omarion Mbakwe, had 90 yards on 12 carries in that first half. And the big play receiver in the first half was Tucker Casano, the Rice commit, who had 5 grabs for 122 yards and 2 scores. Harry Hassman also contributed 2 catches for 47 yards. It was a big strike, big play offense for Coppell in the first half. Conversely, Marcus had 1 big play, the 75-yard touchdown pass to Rhett Garza from Colton Nussmeyer, who went 6 of 13 for 123 and a touchdown. But other than that, they couldn't find much offensively. They had a nice run by Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi to get a first down, which that was early in a drive. You had a nice 22-yard catch from Rhett Garza early in a drive. But other than that, they really couldn't find much offensively. And honestly, you just saw a Coppell team showing why they are where they are right now.
Well, there's a reason that they are the 9th-ranked team in the state, as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast. And they showed that. And I'll tell you, Edward Griffin has been extremely fun to watch. I mean, obviously it's not what you want to see from the Marcus side, but you have to tip your hat to that young man. He's probably the best quarterback we've seen all season.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Wow, he is really it's been all about him, his arm, his legs. He's kind of done it all. He's truly the leader here. Nussmeier keeps fighting. This Marcus Marauder team keeps fighting. And, heck, if they can come down here the third quarter, get a drive together, get some points on the board, I think you got something going.
Yeah, there's an opportunity here with the Marauders who are just now coming onto the field. There's an opportunity here getting the ball to start the second half. Like you said, if they can get down and they can get it into the end zone, make this a 10-point game, all right, then we've got something going. The Marauders were able to get, one stop in that first half. They did force one punt. Came close a couple other times to getting stopped. They just couldn't quite make the play. But the stats make it look like Coppell has just moved the ball up and down the field, but it really has been big chunk plays that have kind of done the Marauders in on defense.
Yeah, you really wanted to try to eliminate some of those, but sometimes the other team is just that good, and as long as they're coming out and executing, it's going to be hard to stop. And you wonder now, if Marcus doesn't score on this first drive, how long does Coppell keep their starters in? That's interesting. You mentioned it earlier, too. I mean, you've got the playoffs coming up. You want to be healthy for that. They start in a week. So it's going to be a little bit of a balancing act for Coppell on how long they keep the number ones in the game.
Yeah, and I based on what I was told, the expectation is that they're going to keep their starters in as long as Coach Wiley is going to keep his starters in as long as this game is in doubt. So I don't think you're going to see Coppell pulling any of their starters. Let's say, like, for example, you get Marcus go down and score. I don't think he's going to yank it. Even though you would understand it if they did. I mean,
you and I talked about that, right? And I think we had two different ideologies, which really are the two that you have. It's either mash the gas or take a seat and let the other kids get some experience, which I'm all for as well.
Right. I mean, it is a balancing act if you're a coach. A 10-0 season to a high school team is very important. An undefeated regular season is something you can always hang your hat on. An outright district title is always something you can hang your hat on, of course. But as a coach, this team is their spot is locked in the playoffs. So you got to think about health as well. But we'll see what they do coming out second half. Marcus going to receive this opening kickoff. They have Charlie Burgesson and Peyton Belton back deep. This is a high kick, and it's going to be about 2 yards deep, and Belton is going to try and return it. He comes up the middle, trying to get to the 20, and he's going to get cut off. He's going to get dropped at the 15-yard line. Probably not the best decision by Peyton Belton there. That was a high kickoff. Might want to probably just kneel that and take it to the 25.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about a little bit, was stay within yourself. Don't try to do anything outside of character. And typically we don't see them bringing kickoffs out of the end zone like that.
No.
He might have seen something and thought he could hit that seam, but really ran into his own man there at the 15-yard line. So
that's where the Marauders will start their first possession here of the third quarter at the 15. As Nussmeier in the shotgun.
That's Brock Golis.
Oh, wait, that's Golis. Yeah, they brought Golis in for the power formation, and he gets into the open field out past the 25. They had Huffman as kind of the H-back, and Golis came in to run that quarterback power. First time we've seen that formation tonight, and now Golis will go ahead and check out here.
Outside of the long pass
I didn't notice that at first.
To Garza, that was one of their best plays of the night.
Yeah, 12-yard run by Golis to get it out to the 27.
And
as Nussmeier split out.
We're going to get a little replay. You'll see the tight ends just look at the seal blocks there, especially by number 80. And Brock Golis is
great
Jackson
block.
Can block, he can catch, he can do it all. He's a great tight end.
Kind of a broken play there on first down. The handoff to Kelly Akipi gets a yard, but looked like it looked like almost Nussmeier maybe turned the wrong way, and he and Kelly Akipi kind of bumped into each other on the exchange there.
I tell you, Titus Roberson, number 0 for Coppell, has been a game wrecker all night. He is all over the place. He's extremely aggressive.
He's
hard to block.
He's that other Tulsa commit along with Blake Isbell on that defensive
see it.
line.
You can see it on every single play.
2nd and 9 now at the 28. Snap back in the shotgun. Pass caught out near the first down marker. It's going to be about a yard short of Jackson Morris. Makes the grab on the quick out and going to make it 3rd and about 2. It's going to be a couple yards short as they get a 7-yard catch on 2nd down.
And you like to see that, the tight end getting grimy, having a big block a couple plays earlier. Now you reward him with the catch. And he's been the guy from the tight end spot that has really, you can depend on his hands. He had the one drop earlier tonight, but I think that might be his first drop of the season.
3rd and 2 for the Marauders at their own 35. Garza in motion. Now he takes the ball under center and jets forward. It's going to be close. I think he's going to be about a half-yard short. Tried something a little tricky there as he came in motion. Check that. That was Torgerson. Sorry.
That was
9, not 6, who came in motion and then stopped under center, and they give him the first down. He got just enough to get to the mark, and they move the chains as Torgerson lines up at receiver, comes in motion, jumps under center, and takes it on a sneak.
So inventive. We've seen him be more and more part of the offense as the years progressed. He's been in the receiver role. He's played some quarterback. Really ingenious to take your receiver, put him at receiver, motion under center to take the snap. Good job.
4 receivers formation on 1st down, and pass just a little bit tall. Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi released out of the backfield right up the middle of the field, and he had room to run if that pass had been on target.
He sure did. He had Kelly-Ikipi up the middle, and he had Rhett Garza right here on the seam. He had his dealer's choice there, just a little bit high. That was a big play if he's able to hit that one.
I tell you what, I mean, who knows if somebody runs Isaiah down from behind, but he had no one in front of him between him and the goal line on that pass. 2nd and 10 now at the 37. Snap back, going to hand the ball off up the middle. Mason Jones gets through the hole, but then gets hit after a couple of yards, gets brought down by a combination of tackles. Number 34, Tyrell Roberson, the safety, leading the way on that stop.
Yeah, and that time Titus Roberson was on his back getting pancaked by this O-line. I missed the number of the young man that put him there, but he was certainly on his back. And you could tell when there's a good run play, typically he's going to be not around.
3rd and 8 now for the Marauders at the 39-yard line, needing to convert here to keep this drive alive. 4 wide set. Garza coming in motion towards the line of scrimmage. Drop back, quick throw, caught by Morris. He makes and breaks a tackle. He's into Cowboy territory with a 1st down, and finally brought down as Jackson Morris comes up with the big play on 3rd down. They say his knee went down at the 40-yard line, so that'll be a 22-yard catch and run. They go tempo, quick throw, caught by Mason Jones on the screen, and he slipped. He had room to run. Would have gotten a really solid gain on 1st down, but his feet went out from under him at the 38-yard line.
I think he certainly has the 1st down at the very least.
Yeah.
But yeah, his feet were just moving faster than he was. You know, you have that dream sometimes. I don't know if you've ever had that dream where you're trying to run, but you can't get away. That's what just happened there, it looked like.
That was a 21-yard catch on 3rd down by Jackson Morris to move into Cowboy territory. Mason Jones did get 2 before he slipped. 2nd and 8 now at the 38-yard line of Coppell. Opening drive of the second half. Play action. Little pass, and it's way off target as Nussmeier threw that way behind Charlie Burgesson, who was coming on a deep dig route over the middle.
I don't know if that ball might have gotten tipped at the line of scrimmage or we had a miscommunication of some kind. Maybe Nussmeier thought he was going to curl up, but he ran that dig route. Could have been a read route for the receiver. We really don't know. But not a good look there, and that ball was woefully behind Burgesson.
Yeah, that was behind the defender and the receiver both. That's what you think, is maybe it was just a miscommunication.
I think so, because Nussmeier is typically extremely accurate.
3rd and 8 now for the Marauders. They're now in 4-down territory, I believe, here. Going to be a quick pass, and it's knocked away. A little bit behind Cooper Campbell, and making the play was Matthew Neitzel, the safety, who was able to catch up and get a hand on that ball. I think if that ball's out in front of Campbell, it's probably a catch, but it was a little bit behind, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they come with the pressure. Nussmeier comes up a bit gimpy there. I think that, they've been around his legs all night. He tries just to get the ball out on that underneath route, but they've seen that has Coppell a few times, and that time they're able to stick to their man and be right on that short outlet route.
Marauders keep the offense on the field, down 17. They're going to go for this on 4th and 8 at the Coppell 38-yard line. Shotgun snap back to Nussmeier. He drops back. He fires. Pass is caught. First down. Cooper Campbell on the out route inside the 30 at the 28. A 10-yard catch to move the sticks.
I mean, what a throw under pressure, and just a little out route, able to get the yardage that they need. Perfect catch and throw. We're going to get the replay. The pass protection holds up. That's important because this pass rush has been insane all evening. And look at that. It's actually, I'm sorry, that was the play before that, the drag play that was incomplete to Cooper Campbell.
Nussmeier under center on first down. Belton in motion, play action. Nussmeier drops, fire one deep towards the end zone. Has a man, and it's incomplete, just out of the reach of the leaping wide receiver that time. That was Garza as he threw it over the outside shoulder. Garza went up for it and just couldn't come down with the grab.
It looks like a really nice throw by Nussmeier. The coverage was so tight.
Yeah, he put it where he had. I mean, the only place that Garza was going to be able to catch it was over the top.
Here's the replay. You'll see just a motion man to get that defense to move, a little play action, and then look at this throw. It's really a dime, just goes off Garza's hands in the back of the end zone. Good defense.
Yeah, and Scott Fishpaw was right there with Garza. 2nd and 10, toss sweep. Kelly Keepy breaks a tackle and is going to get maybe a yard. He broke a tackle behind the line to save a loss, but only gets to the 27 for a gain of 1.
So you went for it on the 4th down. You're able to get it. Now you've come out. Now it's 3rd and long again, and really making life hard on yourself offensively when you're playing from behind the chains this way.
Yeah, most definitely. 3rd and about 9.5, really, from where they've marked this ball. And, you know, I wonder if this is still 4-down territory. I could see them trying a field goal if they can get a few yards here. Owen Gall's got a good leg. 3rd down out of the shotgun. Nussmeier drops. He's going to fire one towards the far side, and that pass is incomplete. Coverage was tight. He had a man over there. He was trying to get Charlie Burgesson, and it was just good coverage that time as Seth Carruthers, the cornerback, was all over it. Carruthers is the Wake Forest commit. First time we've called his name tonight.
That's a throw that needs to be thrown to the outside shoulder, Jacob. You'll see it's man-to-man coverage, so Nussmeier off the snap is going that way, but he throws it inside. He's lucky that's not intercepted. You don't want to throw those outside routes to the inside. He needed to put that on the back shoulder towards the sideline.
The offense is on the field, 4th and 9.5, dropping back. Here comes the blitz, and down goes Colton Nussmeier as beating his man on the play. It was number 12, Uche Odumegwu. He got into the backfield, the senior defensive end, and dropped Nussmeier, who could not get away, and the Marauders come up empty.
Just absolutely no chance for Nussmeier that time. Just a little boot play, but you come off untouched like that, and you have that sort of speed.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for the quarterback to get loose.
He just beat Frank Adams right off the snap and got around him, and Nussmeier didn't have much of a chance on that one.
And now sudden change for the defense. Was interesting to see what the play call is for Coppell coming out.
Loss of 10 back to the 39. That's where Coppell takes over, 1st and 10. Snap back, handoff up the middle. Getting over the 40, out to about the 42. That'll be a gain of 3 on 1st down. That is Mbakwe, who had 90 yards rushing in the first half.
Kind of surprised at that, Jacob. To me, it's a sudden change. It's a turnover. That's an opportunity to come out and put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, and they just run a simple dive play.
2nd and 7 now for the Cowboys. Still in the 3-wide set, out of the shotgun. Griffin, the signal caller, the Baylor commit. It's going to be another handoff to Mbakwe. Dances, finds a gap, shoots it, gets up out past the 45 to the 47. He'll be about 2 yards shy of a 1st down after a nice run.
That hesitation move in the backfield because the Marauders did get quick penetration, but that little hesitation is what is able to get him those few yards.
Brock Golwis brought him down. These two, check that. Brock Golwis brought him down. He'll see this quarterback in the Big 12 as they both move on to the college level.
How about that? Texas Tech versus Baylor.
Yep.
I'll be watching that one for sure when that time comes around, maybe in a year or two.
Third and 2 now for the Cowboys at their own 47. Handoff up the middle and into the second level goes Mbakwe. He's on the move. He's getting run down, and he will get brought down from behind, but not before he gets all the way inside the 10-yard line. Busted through the line, broke a tackle, and turned on the Jets. First and goal for the Cowboys. They're going to say his knee hit at the 12, so that's where the ball will be placed, but a great run by Mbakwe.
That effort is everything that you need to know about Brock Golis. This game, 24-7, not a lot going well for you. He is out in the open for a touchdown. Coppell, and Brock Golis runs down the man from about 15 yards away. Great effort to keep him out of the end zone.
41-yard run by Mbakwe. Play action. Griffin fires into the end zone, and that pass is caught for a touchdown. Didn't know if he came up with it. It was a late signal, but coming up with the grab, diving catch it was by number 88, Jacoby Coleman, who comes up with the catch to get the Cowboys on the scoreboard once again.
Just another perfect throw. Right-handed quarterback running to his left, gets his hips flipped around, is able to set his feet and throw an absolute laser into the back of the end zone.
Well, and that was a great catch also by Jacoby Coleman because he had a defender right on his back and made a nice diving catch in the back of the end zone to secure the touchdown. And the Cowboys have really put some space between themselves and the Marauders.
Not much has gone wrong for this Cowboy offense here tonight, that's for sure.
Extra point team is on. Snap is down. Kick is up, and kick is good. 4:16 to go here in the third quarter. The Cowboys extend their lead. It's now 31-7 Coppell. This is Marcus Football Night.
Fans experience amazing at Marty B's restaurants. Marty B's, Rustico, 1845. Marty B's Coffee, and now open Branded Bowls. And coming very soon, you can experience sizzling fajitas and wonderful margaritas at their all-new Cactus Canyon. Experience amazing at any and all Marty B's locations.
Well, the Marauders are now really up against it here as they are getting ready to receive the kickoff. Down 31-7 after the 12-yard touchdown pass to Jacoby Coleman from the arm of Edward Griffin.
It's amazing to me that as they run up to that ball, no one has touched it all night. They come right next to it, and they're able to stop. I've never seen it.
It's just trying to see what the defense does, see how they react. Third touchdown pass of the night for Griffin. Kickoff is high. This one is actually returnable. Caught at the 2-yard line. Up the middle, room to run, out past the 20, 25, out past the 30. Good return that time by Peyton Belton. The wide receiver, the junior, he found a gap that time and shot through it, a 32-yard return out to the 33-yard line, and that's where the Marauders will start this next possession. Down now by three full scores, 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions, just a tie. You're kind of in a now or never mode now for Marcus with 4:08 to go in the third quarter.
Sure, Colton Nussmeier, I know he's got to feel a little bit of this pressure, but again, stay within yourself. All you need is a score to get right back in this thing, and this is the drive that you need to have it.
1st and 10 for the Marauders. He's going to go under center here on first down. Hand off to Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi. Finds room up the middle, out past the 40. Breaking tackles, out past the 45 to the 47-yard line. Nice run on first down of 14 yards by Isaiah Kelly-Ikipi.
We haven't seen a lot of that tonight. It's nice to see that. The offensive line just moving that defensive line and taking control of the line of scrimmage. Kelly-Ikipi hits the hole. Big yardage, first down. That's how you start a drive.
Marauders this time will come out in a 3-wide set out of the shotgun. Snap back, play action, and it's going to be a little drop-off pass to Jackson Morris, the tight end, who gets tackled around his ankles. Still had another man there ready to defend him, but it's still, regardless, nice tackle that time by number 46, Madden Montague, the sophomore linebacker who was able to hold Morris to a 5-yard gain.
Jackson Morris, he's been the staple tight end all season long. Whether it's blocking or catching, he's been great off those little bootleg actions. He's just been a real nice piece for Nussmeier all season long.
2nd and 5 now in Coppell territory. Jet sweep, handoff inside the 45, the 40, first down near the 35. That's Cooper Campbell taking the handoff out of the slot. It comes in motion. They knock him out at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Marauders, a gain of 14.
And that was a combination of Jackson Morris and number 71, Frank Adams, to get out on the edge and get those blocks downfield, along with a little receiver blocking help to make that big play happen down the field.
So the Marauders, like their first drive of the third quarter, on the move here, but got to cash this one in. Handoff up the middle to Mason Jones. Runs through a tackle and then finally gets brought down at the 30 after a gain of 5.
Wow, this Marauder offense has come out and they've got a little something going all of a sudden.
I mean, last time, this is where they got to last time before the drive stalled. It was down around, it was just inside the 30 last time before things kind of broke down on them. And they ended up getting stopped on 4th down. Now they've got it 2nd and 5 at the Cowboy 30, trying to see if they can get themselves within 2 scores here on this possession. 2 tight end formation with Huffman lined up as a fullback, and now going to be a timeout called by the Coppell defense as the coaching staff didn't like something they saw, and they called the timeout their first of the half. We will take it with them. 2:33 to go here in the, yes, we will. We'll take it with them. 2:33 to go here in the third quarter. 31-7 Coppell. This is Marcus Football Night.
Can you feel it? The paradigm shift. The rising intensity as the engines idle. Let the race begin. Fire up your appetite. Farm fresh beef, straight from the source, to our grill, and from the sea to your plate. All of our ingredients are fresh and made to order. Dine in today and taste the fast and furious difference. Order online or take it to go and fire up your appetite at F&F Japanese Grill.
Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith here with you at Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School, where the Marauders right now are really up against it, trailing the Cowboys by a score of 31-7 here in the third quarter with 2:33 to go. But they do have the ball at the Coppell 30, 2nd and 5, down 3 scores. Under center is Nussmeier on this play. Tight formation. Play action. Nussmeier drops back. He's going to fire one. Pass is caught. First down inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds. We'll see where Jackson Morris stepped out. They're going to say stepped out at the 20, so there'll be a gain of 10. Move the sticks. That's the second catch, or third catch, actually. His third catch on this drive for Jackson Morris.
And Nussmeier's just, he is locked in right now as we look at this second drive of the third quarter. This is the best we've seen him tonight.
Second catch on this drive.
Second on the drive.
Yeah, third in the half. 1st and 10 at the 20 now for the Marauders. Handoff to Kelly Ikipi. Got room, breaks a tackle inside the 15, still dragging his bodies, and finally gets brought down. Looks like he's going to be about a half-yard short, but it's going to be officially a gain of 9 for Kelly Ikipi, setting up 2nd and short.
I think that was Mason Jones that time.
Oh, was it Jones? I'm sorry. I thought it was 22, not 24. My apologies.
Hard
Mason
to see
Jones.
that sometimes from up here.
Mason Jones on the carry. Nice strong run from Mason.
Angry run a little bit, right? Ran through some folks, ran over some folks.
2nd and a half yard from just inside the 11. Handoff this time to Kelly Ikipi. He'll get the first down, still on his feet and into the end zone for a Marauder touchdown. Kelly Ikipi showing some power of his own, stepping through tackles and punching it in from officially 11 yards out.
Nice run. Nice job by the offensive line on this entire drive. They actually took control of the line of scrimmage on that drive. And Nussmeier with a great couple of throws. I mean, this was a great mixture of run and pass all the way down the field. It's what you wanted to see from Marcus all night, but they're back in it.
Extra point team is on. I'm a little confused by that. But the extra point is up, and it is good with 1:39 to go here in the third quarter. The Marauders get into the end zone for the second time tonight, and they close the gap to 31-14. We'll take a break here. This is Marcus Football Night. Never mind, we're going to keep it here. My fault. Kelly Ikipi from 11 yards out officially to get the Marauders on the board. Were you a little confused that the Marauders didn't leave the offense on the field and go for 2 there?
Well,
here comes the touchdown
Here we
run.
see the replay, and it's who is that? That's big number 60.
That's Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham pulling through and
the left guard,
making that hole just wide open for Kelly Ikipi. No, I'm going to say no. I'm not surprised because that's what we call chasing points. It's a little early to start chasing points. You get the touchdown. You get another touchdown, you're in an extra point. Now you're only within 10. If you don't get that, then you're getting yourself even further.
I guess I look at it like this: is if you go for 2 and you don't, whether you get it, if you get, they went for an onside kick here, but it didn't go 10 yards. Brock Gold covered it, but it didn't make it 10 yards. They tried the sneak onside kick, and the ball just didn't roll quite far enough as Gold went to cover it, and he wasn't quite at the 10-yard mark.
I think we'll get a little replay of this onside kick. It was a great effort, surprise to everybody. So they're kicking it at the 40, so be sure that we see the ball is at the 40. So here he makes the kick, and about a yard
it looked
too
like,
soon he touched it. But it looked like it was going to go out of bounds anyway.
It looked like it was going to get the roll that he wanted, but then it kind of kicked sideways at the last second and didn't go quite 10 yards. They actually mark it at the 48-yard line of Marcus where Coppell takes over. I'll get back to the extra point in just a second. I looked at it more from a simple math standpoint. Handoff up the middle into the second level, inside the 20, the 10, the 5, and the Coppell Cowboys strike immediately on the first play after the failed onside kick as Josh Locke takes it to the house from 45 yards out.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Josh Locke's first carry this evening.
No, he had a couple.
He
had the 2-yard touchdown earlier.
Okay, there you go.
Locke had
all he does is score touchdowns, apparently. He's Chris Carter.
That's his second touchdown of the night. He had the 2-yard carry earlier on 3rd and goal, and he punches this one in from 48 yards out. Again, both of these running backs carry almost, they both carry a lot of the load in the run game. They use both of them pretty liberally. It's not really going to matter now with the 2-point conversion or not.
No, I guess now that argument is mute.
Or moot.
Extra point. Did I say? Did I say mute?
Extra point is up and good. Minute 28 to go here in the third quarter. The Cowboys extend their lead back to 24 points, 38-14 Coppell. This is Marcus Football Night.
Fall will be here before you know it. Is your home ready? Upgrade your home with Pella Windows and Doors for only $199 a month. Our beautiful, energy-efficient windows come with a lifetime warranty, ensuring your family stays comfortable through every season. Call now for a free consultation and make sure your home is prepared with Pella.
After the onside kick attempt that did not work for Marcus as it didn't travel the 10 yards, the Coppell Cowboys wasted no time as number 18 Josh Locke takes a handoff right up the gut, breaks through into the second level, and outruns the Marcus defense for a 48-yard touchdown. And the Marauders are back down 24 points. This kickoff is going to go very deep into the end zone for the touchback, and the Marauders will take over at the 25.
Man, he kicked the leather off that ball. That thing soared into the back of the end zone.
Yeah, we've seen it all night. Bryson Patton has a good leg, very good leg.
He does. Now we've got the kids are doing the push-ups like the duck from Oregon.
Yeah.
It's on the Jumbotron. I don't know how they do anything with all that chalk being spread over there. Seems like it would be a breathing hazard. I wonder what the parents feel like when that stuff is coming up.
I'd be irritated as blocking my view, but more than anything else. First and 10 for the Marauders at their own 25. Garza in motion. They swing it out to Kelly Ikipi, who gets wrapped up immediately. No fooling the Coppell defense that time as Scott Fishpaw came up and attacked that play like a hungry man at Thanksgiving.
Well, and they ran it to the short side of the field. I'm not a fan of running those swing routes out to the short side because you're really condensing where the running back can go, but it doesn't matter when the defense reads the play like that.
Yeah. Loss of 5 on the play back to the 20. I think, obviously the hope on that play is the motion is going to make the defense shift and open up the flat. It just didn't that time.
It's just good film work and recognition by Coppell.
Out of the shotgun, snap back, little screen pass, and again, Coppell was all over what Marcus was trying to do. That was an actually fully set up screen with blockers out front. But this time it was number 0, Titus Roberson, who read it immediately and dropped Kelly Ikipi for another loss. 2 swing passes to Kelly Ikipi, lose 7 yards.
And again, they're running this long, developing screen pass to the short side of the field.
Well, that time the offensive line got
it.
out in front but just didn't get their blocks. 3rd down and 17 now back at the 18-yard line. Empty set for Nussmeier. Oh, and the snap goes over his head back into the end zone. He picks it up and is just going to go down as the rush was coming in, and that'll be a safety. On the last play of the 3rd quarter, the over-the-head snap into the end zone. All Nussmeier could do was just cover it and go down as he had number 8, Blake Isbell, bearing down on him. And we will go to the 4th quarter with the score now Coppell 40 and Marcus 14. This is Marcus football night.
Are you ready to score big in the game of home ownership? Southern Collective Realty is here to get you into the end zone of your dream home. Hi, I'm Amy Turner, and I'm the broker and owner of Southern Collective Realty. I've been a Marcus mom for the last 6 amazing years and a great supporter of the Marauders.
I'm Sarah Grant, and I'm proud to be a Marauder mom and aunt. Together we bring in over 20 years of experience in Flower Mound and surrounding areas. Southern Collective Realty, where every home purchase is a victory.
Ready to kick off your search? Give us a call today.
Yeah, everybody. If you've had a dream ever in your life, I need you to rock with me.
We go to the final quarter of play here at Buddy Echols Field on the campus of Coppell High School. Jacob Dedamore, Tim Smith here with you as the Marauders will be coming out for a free kick after a bad snap. That's not something we've seen much of at all this year from the Marauders. That snap just sailed way over the head of Colton Nussmeier, and all he could do was cover it. And the Cowboys get a couple more points out of it.
A bad time for that sort of mistake to happen because now it just looks like nothing's going right for you, and you had some momentum. I mean, since that onside kick, though, you gave up the big run, and then the ball sails over your head, and here comes this Coppell offense.
So they will line up to kick this one off as opposed to punting it. Santiago Diaz, the sophomore kickoff specialist, will line it up. 3 returners back at the 30-yard line for Coppell. High and as deep as he can kick it. It's going to be caught at the 18-yard line. Nice kick from Diaz, but room to run and out past the 40 and making moves and finally getting brought down at the 45 is number 88, Jacoby Coleman. He'll return that one 27 yards. Santiago Diaz booted that about as far as he could. It flew, it went 62 yards in the air, but unfortunately the kickoff coverage couldn't get down there, and Jacoby Coleman got that one all the way out to the 45-yard line.
Now, Coleman had a huge lane to run through.
Yeah.
That's just too many yards. But, you know, you can't account it. That's a free kick. You're not going to account for what a great kick it was.
My bad. That was 62 yards. I was right on the math on that. My bad.
Math is hard.
Sometimes. 1st and 10 now for the Cowboys at their own 45.
They still have the starters in.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Answers that question we had. Handoff up the middle, across midfield into Marauder territory is Mbakwe with a gain of 7. And we do have a Marauder down on the play.
Timeout for injured player.
Can't quite see the number of who it is that's down right now. But we do have a bit of an injury timeout here. And the trainers are going to look at him for a moment. Let's go ahead and take a break while they tend to the injured Marauder. We'll see if we can get the number on that player for you. This is Marcus Football Night.
Fall will be here before you know it. Is your home ready? Upgrade your home with Pella Windows and Doors for only $199 a month. Our beautiful, energy-efficient windows come with a lifetime warranty, ensuring your family stays comfortable through every season. Call now for a free consultation and make sure your home is prepared with Pella.
The injured player on the play, unfortunately, was the sophomore, number 99, Liam Hoskins, who was making his return tonight for the first time since he got injured in the Geyer game. And unfortunately, he took a shot to the leg. I think it was the ball carrier Mbakwe, I think, fell into him as he went down on the play. And Hoskins is not even able to put any weight on his leg, and he's going to the injury tent with the trainers right now. That's a really unfortunate. Finally, worked his way back to be able to actually play. So didn't start tonight, but I guess has been rotating in some and gets injured again.
Yeah, he's definitely been in the game, made his presence known. You hate to see the kid who's been fighting so hard to come back from injury to take another injury here in this one. Tough scene, but
yeah, most definitely.
This defense for the Marauders, I have to say, from here, they just look tired. They
sure.
Look like they've had a long night.
Yeah, and they've been chasing Cowboy players all night because of the big chunk plays that they've been getting. So, it's, they've been getting run all up and down the field in this game tonight.
So this Coppell offense is just kind of leaning on them now. I don't even know if we'll see Griffin throw another pass.
Second and a long 2 from just outside the Marcus 47-yard line here. Once Liam Hoskins was able to get off the field, they started the clock back up. 11-10 to go in the ball game. Handoff to Mbakwe. He's going to pick his way forward, still on his feet, and finally gets brought down inside the 40 at the 38. That'll be a 9-yard run for Mbakwe, and they move the sticks again.
Mbakwe has been extremely impressive all night long, and he says, "Just give me the ball, coach, and I'll run the clock down much as I can."
Yeah, and right now while you're seeing no huddle, you're not seeing any kind of hurry from Coppell at this point. They know they have this game in hand at this point with a 26-point lead. And again, this is a Coppell Cowboys team that looks very capable of making a deep run in the 6A playoffs this year. 1st and 10, snap back, another handoff. And breaking a tackle in the backfield, is still on his feet, and now he's going to get dropped for a huge loss as Mbakwe. He broke a couple tackles and then just kept going backward, breaking tackles, trying to find room to run, and lost more yardage, ends up losing 7 yards back to the 45.
And you love to see it. You love to see the Marauder defense come up with a play in this situation. They're still out there fighting their butts off, playing the entire 48 minutes. Good for them. No matter what's happening on the field, they're playing every play.
Multiple defenders in on that stop that got to Mbakwe. It was Jamison Mayfield that ended up being one of the primary players to bring him down for that loss of 7. 2nd down, shotgun snap back, play action. This time Griffin's going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, has a man open, and that pass is caught for a touchdown down the seam as he connects with Harry Hossman for his first touchdown grab of the night. For Hossman, that is touchdown number 16 on the season, and this game has become a bit of a laugher.
I think you just can't throw the ball any better than that.
No,
I mean, we said he might not throw another pass, but when you have the big loss, they're still trying to get the first down. They said, forget the first down. We want to go downtown, Julie Brown, and that's exactly what they did.
4th touchdown pass of the evening for Edward Griffin.
Edward Griffin has been on fire tonight.
He's been amazing.
I'm excited to watch Baylor games. This is what we're going to see.
Extra point team is on. The kick is up. And this kick is good with 9:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. 47-14. Cowboys as they are well on their way now to a perfect 10-0 regular season. This is Marcus Football Night.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Orthopedic Associates, proud sponsors of Marcus High School football. Whether it's a game-winning touchdown or a fierce tackle, we're here to keep our athletes strong and in the game. From sports injuries to joint pain, our team of top orthopedic specialists is dedicated to providing the best care to keep you moving. Visit us at Orthopedic Associates, where your health is our victory.
That latest Coppell Cowboy drive finished off after the kickoff return from the free kick. That drive was finished off with a 45-yard touchdown pass from Griffin to Hussman. Kickoff is dropped at the 5 but picked up, and a solid return out to the 24-yard line. Good job that time by Peyton Belton to make up for muffing the kick. He actually got it to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Marauders will start this next drive.
Yeah, not a bad return, especially when you look at the fact that he did drop the ball and then had to spin around in an entire 360 circle to find the ball, pick it up, and then get his head down and get some yards and gets to the 24. Not a bad place for this Marauder offense. And 9:33, you don't want to pack it in. You want to do something, right, does Nussmeier. I mean, this is a growth time for him right now. He is the quarterback here for the next 2 years. And he's certainly shown some things all season long. You love this kid.
Quick pass out to the near side, caught, and out past the 35, out past the 40 on the slip screen. That was Cooper Campbell that time on the catch on the little swing pass from Nussmeier. Great blocking out front that time, and he got it to the 42 for a gain of 17.
Anytime you get a receiver screen that works, it works because you have receivers blocking downfield, and that time everyone doing their part.
It's hard to, one of the good things about this Coppell team that you got to give them credit for, we'll talk about it here in just a second. First and 10 at the 42, Nussmeier dropping back. He's going to fire one deep, and Burgess didn't know where the ball was, but there was a grab on the play as he was trying to get free. They're going to get number 10, Alex Kraus, the safety, for pass interference there as he was trying to hit Charlie Burgesson. Bit of good fortune for the Marauders because Burgesson never saw where the ball was.
He did. Burgesson ran a little post, and then from the post he was going into the fade. So a little faked in the middle to go back to the fade. He doesn't pick up the ball, but he does get interfered with.
15-yard penalty moves it into Coppell territory at the 43. As we were talking about this, when we say senior heavy, this Coppell team, you cannot underestimate the value of experience. And this Coppell team is very experienced. They have one junior in their two deep that really contributes much of anything. Everybody else is seniors on this squad. Pass rush comes on a blitz. Nussmeier gets away, steps up the sideline, still on his feet, and finally steps out of bounds. Great job that time by Colton to get away from the pressure. He stepped out at the 40 as he was trying to tiptoe the sideline, but still got 3 yards out of something that looked like it was about to be a disaster.
Yeah, he's very athletic, and sometimes his athleticism can be sneaky, but he is athletic. Make no mistake about it. He's been able to take off and run all season long.
Gain of 3 makes it 2nd and 7 now with 8:45 to go here in the ball game. Two backs in the backfield, split back. Deep shot by Nussmeier up the sideline, has a man, it's caught! Is it in the end zone? It is, it's a touchdown. And still down slow to get up is Charlie Burgesson, but Burgesson made the grab and brought it across the goal line. I wonder if he fell on the ball there. He may have. I think he may have had the wind knocked out of him.
That has the look of I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But what a throw. Nussmeier comes out and throws an absolute perfect dot.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie Burgesson got a couple of steps behind the defense, and a beautiful throw from Colton Nussmeier right over the top as Burgesson catches it, a 40-yard strike to get the Marauders into the end zone.
We're going to get a replay here of it. Nussmeier very comfortable. Look at that throw. Just throws it. He beats the corner. The safety tries to get there too late, and he did. He landed right on the football. That'll take your breath away every time.
That was Kirk Collier. He's one of the reserve corners. He was in on that play for Seth Carruthers, and Burgesson got behind him a couple of steps, and Colton, who that time actually had a clean pocket, the pressure they weren't able to get pressure on him that time, and threw a beautiful ball to put the Marauders in the end zone. 8:30, the extra point team is on now. Owen Gall lining things up. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 8:37 to go in the ball game. Marauders into the end zone once again. It is now Coppell 47 and Marcus 21. As we're getting another good look here on this replay.
At 34, the safety tries his best to get over the top of that, but just can't. Again, you can't defend the perfect throw, and that was the perfect throw.
Well, and that's also a nice job. As you're right, the safety, number 34, Tyrell Roberson, was closing. That was a good job by Burgesson because he did have to slow up just a slight bit, and he felt the defender closing, so he went up and went up into the air to kind of high point that ball a bit and cradle it before the defender got to him, and when he was able to bring it into the breadbasket, was able to fall into the end zone.
Good job by Colton Nussmeier. His family's got a big weekend coming up. You told me earlier, Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback at LSU, playing Alabama for maybe a playoff spot this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the first college football playoff rankings came out this week. LSU checked in, I believe, at number either 15 or 16 in that top 25. Alabama checked in at number 11 in those first rankings. Both teams with 2 losses, so the Marcus alum Garrett Nussmeier trying to lead his LSU Tigers to a win this weekend as they take on Alabama in what is essentially an elimination game. This kickoff from Diaz is high and dropping back to catch it at the 7-yard line, and now taking a knee is number 13, Harry Hassman. They had the hands team on for a possible onside, and so Hassman had to really go back to get that kick. And so he just, with no blockers in front of him, he just took a knee once they closed in at the 13.
How's Papa Nussmeier feeling this week? You got the Eagles coming to town. He's the Eagles quarterback's coach. He used to coach for Alabama. Now he's going to watch he's got 2 national championships, does Papa Nussmeier with Alabama. Now he's got to watch his son go in and try to take down Alabama.
Yeah, and that game is going to be in Death Valley on Saturday night at 6:30 on ABC.
You love Saturday night Death Valley games.
LSU checks in at 15. They're with 2 losses this year. Alabama, the only 2-loss team in the 12-team playoff field as it currently sits. But again, and it looked like we had a penalty.
We did.
Illegal formation by Marcus on the kickoff, so they're going to bring this back and re-kick. Oh, that's.
Did they have too many people on one side?
Possibly, yeah. I'm going to assume that was the case. They had too many people on one side of the formation, and so unfortunately, that poor field position for Coppell gets wiped out, and Marcus will have to re-kick from the 35-yard line.
Still a lot of excitement down here with this. You look at the Marcus. We are right behind the Marcus student section. They are having a blast down here. Love to see that. The season might be coming to an end, but you'd never know it by this crowd.
Yeah, unfortunately, things have not worked out for Marcus tonight like they hoped, and it does look like this will be the end of the Marauders season. Again, the hands team up for Coppell with Harry Hassman dropped back. He's waiting at around the 25-yard line. And this time it's a short pooch by Diaz, and Hassman will just make a fair catch at the 29-yard line to let his offense take over. Smart play by Hassman that time to not even fool around with it. Just make the fair catch and let your offense come back on the field.
Absolutely no reason to risk anything on that and try to return it.
They're going to mark it officially at the 30.
And we are going to have a line change for the Marauders on defense.
Yep.
Which
a lot of the backups coming in now.
I would think we'll probably see the same thing out of Coppell at this point.
Yes, it looks like they are bringing in Kenneth Gibbs, their junior quarterback, number 19, to take over.
Now they still have their number 1 running back in the game.
No, that's actually number 9.
No,
Chris
that's
Searcy,
9.
the tight end, is going to line up at running back. It takes
not number 6.
Yeah, number 9. It's Chris Searcy, the senior tight end, and he will take the handoff on first down. Going around the right side, and he has room. He's into the second level, down the sideline to the 40, the 30, the 25, and he stays inbounds. Nope, he does step out. We do have a flag, though, back near the line of scrimmage. We'll see if this one's coming back. Boy, what a run by Searcy right there. Again, this is coming back. The Marauders did have a lot of their backups in on that. They had checked in some guys who had not played as many snaps this year. Get you some of their numbers here in just a second. To call out some names. Seeing number 30, Brennan Bailey, the senior defensive back out there. I saw number 95, Macias Cazada, the senior defensive lineman, checking in on that series. It was a hold on the play. It was a downfield hold, so it ends up being about a 4-yard penalty back to the 26-yard line. Also in for the Marauders, we've got number 36, Jake Magnuson. Wow, I think that's 30. I think that's the. Have to double check some of these numbers. Number 19, Isaac Kaufman, the senior, has checked in. Number 32, Jack Dunlap, is in on defense. 1st and 10, and it's going to be a keep by the quarterback coming around the right side, up the sideline across the 40, still on his feet to the 45, and that's going to be a nice first down run out to the 47-yard line. 21-yard carry that time for Kenneth Gibbs, the junior quarterback. He'll be taking over this offense next year for Coppell. In on that defensive front right now is number 56, Tanasi Yeager, number 95, Macias Cazada. And trying to get that other number. Want to make sure I get all these kids' names called. Ryan San Miguel's in at linebacker, number 14, as is Jacob Knutson, number 0. 1st and 10. This time a handoff to Searcy, and this time he only gets maybe a yard before he gets brought down. That was Tanasi Yeager, number 56. 97, Maddox Neese is out there on the line of scrimmage. Easton Enfinger at linebacker in. Grayson Patrick is also in the game at safety, number 21. 2nd and 9. Handoff once again. Coming around to Searcy, and he gets hit right at the 50 and stopped immediately by Jack Dunlap, number 32, the senior.
Woo.
Comes up to make the stop. That was a great stick.
What a hit by Dunlap. He just came up and laid the wood and was getting blocked as he makes the tackle. I mean,
great job that time.
That is a heck of a hit.
Number 31, Caleb Livingston, is still in the game, the senior linebacker. So a lot of these seniors that we don't see get a lot of snaps this year have checked in for the Marauders on defense. 3rd down and 7 now at midfield. This time the ball is kept on the zone read by Kenneth Gibbs, but he comes up short, gets about 3 yards to the 47. So he's going to be about 4 yards short of the first down. And unfortunately, we've got an injured Marauder, number 8, Easton Enfinger, the linebacker.
And that's going to cause Brock Golis to come back in the game.
Yep, but he's a senior captain as well. I guarantee you he is no problem checking
I'm
back
sure he
into
didn't
this
want
game.
to come out to begin with.
Yeah. Unfortunate injury. Easton Enfinger tried to get off the field under his own power, but couldn't make it. Trainers come out to check on him. And we'll go ahead and take a break as they attend to Easton Enfinger. 47-21 Coppell. This is Marcus Football Night.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Mike Bean for your personal price plan today.
Easton Enfinger was able to come off the field under his own power, which is good to see. It's a good sign. He's going to head over to the bench, and the trainers are going to keep looking at him, but he was able to come off under his own power. And the punt team will come on 4th and 4 for Coppell as we're at 5:47 and counting. Back deep is Cooper Campbell. Little rolling punt, and this one kind of goes off cockeyed and sideways, and it's not a good punt at all. And it's actually going to roll back upfield all the way to the 44. For some reason, the Coppell players were jumping out of the way of the ball instead of touching it down, and it cost them about 8 yards at field position. That was odd.
Yeah, and Patton, who's been kicking
very
the leather off the ball, he hurt his foot.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. You know, we talk about healthy in the playoffs. You can't lose your kicker. He's more important than you think. And he's out there with a bare foot, and he hurt his foot somehow. He limped off the field, barely made it.
Now, they do have a reserve kicker, Jaden Tidwell, who we've seen on the field tonight, but still, you hope he's okay for the playoffs.
Exactly.
That one just went sideways off his foot and bounced about 8 yards back
That's probably what
upfield.
hurt. He hit the wrong part of his foot.
Jet sweep to Peyton Belton on first down, turns the corner, gets to about the 48-yard line for a gain of 4 before he gets brought down. So a nice little start of this drive. It started at the Marcus 44-yard line. Mason Jones in at tailback. Trying to see who the quarterback is. Is it still Nussmeier? I think it is, yes. Colton Nussmeier still out there with the team.
You like to see that, right? He's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
This is his team for 2 more years. As a leader, no way he wants to come out of this situation regardless.
2nd and 6 at the 48, just under 5 minutes to play. Play action, Nussmeier rolling to his left. He's going to fire one deep down the field, and that pass is caught and out of bounds. Rhett Garza making the grab on the deep corner route, and it's going to be a first down inside the 20-yard line. We'll see where they marked this down officially. I didn't see where they marked him out of bounds.
Looks like right about the 18 or 19-yard line. No, we're going to move up to the
17-yard line. All right, so 35 yards on the catch for Rhett Garza, the senior, on the throw from Colton Nussmeier. 1st and 10 for the Marauders.
Yep, they haven't taken anybody out offensively, have the Marauders, so.
Now, most of the skill position guys are seniors, so you understand that. Handoff to Mason Jones. He's inside the 10. Good hole open there, and he's going to be close to the sticks. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. A 9-yard gain from Mason Jones.
Real nice running up the middle, just a little gash. There's the replay of the catch. You see Garza with very little space. What a dime thrown by Colton Nussmeier there on the sideline.
He's thrown some beautiful balls tonight when he's had time to throw. He really has.
That's going to be fun to watch him play for the next few years.
2nd and a yard from the 8-yard line as Nussmeier goes under center here. Garza in motion, and now timing thrown off, and we had false starts all over the line.
Way too many people moving without the ball being snapped. You can't do that.
So that'll back it up 5 yards.
Got to wait for the ball to get snapped before we can move and pull and all the fun things that we're trying to do up front.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Garza, if this is indeed, as it looks to be, his last game as a Marauder, he's going out with a bang. That 35-yard catch should give him unofficially over 150 yards receiving tonight.
Is that his best game of the year? I think it is. From a receiving standpoint. We've seen him on the jet sweeps and such. But
so back it up to the 12-yard line. 2nd and 6 now. Nussmeier rolling to his right, looking to run, and now he's just going to tuck it, get what he can, and he'll get knocked out of bounds at about the 11-yard line, only going to get a yard there. He was looking in the end zone but couldn't find anybody open. And that's going to set up a 3rd and about 5.
He doesn't mess around. He's going to look, read 1, read 2, read 3, read 4, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Right? He does not mess around. He doesn't hold on to the ball. I like that about him, and he's gotten better at that throughout the year as well.
He got 2 yards on that run to the 11, setting up a 3rd and 4 now for the Marauders. And they brought in Brock Gulwas now for the power formation as Nussmeier splits out. Golwis hesitates, now looks for a hole, finds it inside the 10, and he should have a first down.
I
He
really
dove
wanted to
for
see him
that.
throw.
They're going to mark that at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Golwis gets 5 yards on the play. Touchdown saving tackle that time by a Coppell defender, as it was the.
Oh, he's coming out. I was hoping we were going to get to see a pass.
He's a little gimpy coming off after that run. Got tackled low that time, but he did his job. He moved the chains, 1st and goal. 3:20 to go here in the ball game. Mason Jones in it, tailback. Garza in motion, snap back, hand off to Jones. Inside the 5 and into the end zone for Mason Jones. Touchdown, Marauders.
And simply runs over a man on his way. I think that's number 33 that he ran over. Not
That's
to put him
Allie
on
Healy.
blast, Allie Healy. But, whew, Mason Jones, take no prisoners. He was getting in that end zone no matter what.
That's Mason Jones' first touchdown.
Here's
of
the
the ball
replay.
game.
We'll see the offensive line. Another good pull there.
Oh.
But right at the goal line.
Yeah.
Good on good, and I'm going to run you over like a freight train.
Allie Healy will not like seeing that on tape when they go over this tomorrow. Go over this either tomorrow or Saturday for Coppell. Late flag after the extra point was up and good, and we'll see what the penalty is. It's 47-28 now, Coppell, with 3:08 to go. Something happened after the play because the flag came flying.
And they're having a whole conference over there. Look at all the flips in the end zone.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, it's
So
gonna
that's
be-
the color guard you said?
That's-
Those
no,
are the cheerleaders.
that's the Marcus cheerleaders.
Those are the cheerleaders, and they're flipping. Everyone can flip, apparently.
Now it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Coppell, so that'll move this kickoff to the Coppell 45, where now no reason for the Marauders not to do an onside kick now. So
100%. 100%. Here comes the onside kick, folks.
3:08 to go here in the ball game.
What do they have up their sleeves here? You just can't do a normal onside kick if you want to get this thing.
I think you got to kind of do what they did on the one earlier, send out Owen Gall and Santiago Diaz, and just kind of not give away which direction you're going to send this kick. I see Gall out there, but I don't see Diaz at this point, so I think they're going to go with more of a straight onside kick look.
Yeah, no goalless this time either.
Yeah, the one they tried earlier had both kickers out there, and they kind of faked it. Got to make sure you're lined up right. Owen Gall. Oh, this time he just pooches it over the top. The ball hits, and it's now rolling into the end zone, and it is covered. Boy, that was fortunate for Coppell. It took a roll that you had Harry Hossman back there. They kicked it away from him. I tell you what, if that thing rolls a different direction, Marcus might have been able to cover that, but it took a roll that Hossman was able to go back and cover for a touchback.
I'm going to guess Owen Gall is a great golfer as well because he
That was
had
a beautiful wedge
complete
shot.
control. Exactly. He wedged that thing in to hit the edge of the green and just kind of roll on the green next to the flag. I bet he can play himself some golf. What a great kick. Just didn't quite bounce their way.
Yeah, and that's what you're hoping for there. You're hoping for a funky bounce that gets away from the return man.
And it did. I mean, that thing was rolling around like a greasy pig.
1st and 10, handoff to Searcy, who stays in. The backup, the starting tight end and senior, taking some snaps at running back here. Gain of 2 out to the 27. Marcus choosing not to use their timeouts at the moment. Thought they might use them here on this possession at least to see if they can get the ball back one more time, but looks like Coach Alexander is going to go ahead and concede a little bit here.
Yeah, it looks like he's content to go ahead and let this thing run out there. Coppell going to take their time. Don't suspect that we'll see any gimmicks or anything necessarily out of them at this point other than straight handoffs.
Yep, zone read. It's going to be a keeper this time by the quarterback out past the 35 to the 40. Nice run, nice fake and run by Gibbs that time. That'll move the sticks at the 40-yard line. And if Marcus is going to choose not to stop the clock, then this game will pretty much be over, is they'll be able to
well,
deal it out.
The only mistake there is going out of bounds.
Yeah.
If you're Coppell, you don't want to go out of bounds in this situation. That's one thing that as a younger player he'll learn. Don't go out of bounds. Trying to run the clock out.
Kenneth Gibbs has not had a lot of snaps this year as the junior quarterback, as the backup. Hand off to Searcy this time, and he gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Nice open field tackle that time. That was Caleb Livingston, number 31, the senior.
That was number 30.
Oh, 30, not
Jacob,
31.
sorry.
My apologies. That was Brennan Bailey, the senior defensive back, who made the stop.
They've got him back here playing safety, and he comes up from his safety position to make that tackle in the backfield. What a job.
Loss of a yard for Searcy that time. And I actually am seeing, I didn't know if he was healthy tonight, but apparently he is. I'm seeing Jet Jonker out there, I think. Is that 27 or 37 on the near side cornerback here? Hand off to Searcy again. Oh, it's 37. Never mind. And once again, no gain that time for Searcy. It was 37, Caden Bowie, who I thought was 27. But again, the senior Bowie getting out there. And Brock Gulwis, because of the injury to Enfinger, is going to end this game on the field, as I'm sure he loves.
Oh, he's not complaining.
No.
He'll go play college, and who knows where he'll go after that. But these are the memories that he's going to keep.
I hope
these high school memories.
hope he's able to take this weekend, since their season is coming to an end. I hope he's able to take it, if he's already taken his official visit, which I'm sure he has. He gets to take a visit to Lubbock this weekend, because the Texas Tech Red Raiders will be hosting the Deion Sanders coached Colorado Buffaloes.
That is going to be
Lubbock.
one heck of a game
It's
Saturday.
going to be a great game on Saturday.
What time is that one?
I have to look. I think it's at 2:30, but I got to check.
Colorado playing at 2:30 in the afternoon is different.
Colorado, I mean, that Buffalo team in Lubbock, we had a hold on that last run play, by the way. But this weekend, the Buffaloes and the Red Raiders coming off of that upset over Iowa State this past weekend. Both teams still alive, very much alive for the Big 12 championship.
Maybe playoffs. I mean, Colorado can get themselves if they continue to ascend.
Colorado definitely is. Texas Tech not so much. But Colorado definitely is. It's at 3 o'clock on Saturday in Lubbock.
It's going to be a fun time.
That's going to be
a great day Saturday
atmosphere.
of college football. Can't
wait.
wait.
A great atmosphere. So this will be the final play for all the Coppell Cowboys have to do is snap the ball, and then we will bring this one to an end. The Marcus Marauders will end their season with a 6-4 record. They will finish 3-4 in District 5-6A. Handoff to Searcy. Gets up the middle and is still on his feet. Wow. Searcy ending things strong. He gets the long run and doesn't get the first down, but he will end the football game on that long run by Searcy out to the 47-yard line, and that will do it. As the tip your cap to the Coppell Cowboys, the number 9 ranked team in the state. They get the win tonight at home, and they finish a perfect regular season. They earn themselves an outright district championship in 5-6A, and the number 9 ranked Coppell Cowboys will go into the postseason undefeated, and they will host a by-district game here at Buddy Echols Field next week. The Marcus Marauders, they will end 6-4 on the season, 3-4 in District 5-6A. Unfortunately, they will not be playing in the postseason this year. Disappointing, I know, for everyone, but you know it is a winning season. It's a 6-4 record, even though you're not able to extend it in the postseason. As they fall tonight, 47-28.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coppell looked every bit like the 9th-ranked team in the state. They look like they're going to make some moves in the playoffs.
Most definitely.
This is, Coach Alexander took over this program, last year?
Yes.
And this is going to be a process for Coach Alexander and this staff, but a lot of good things this year. They had a better year this year than last year. You've got a great young quarterback in Colton Nussmeier that's going to be here for the next 2 years. I think there's only positive things for Marcus moving forward and a lot to be excited for in the next season.
Well, that will do it for us here tonight here at Buddy Echols Field here on Tradio and Champion Sports Radio. Thank you to Trey Bell, our executive producer. Thank you to everyone that met all season long, including Hunter Paris, who was the executive producer for most of our broadcasts this year and was running things from onside. He was invaluable all season long. Thank you also to Tim Polster, who was able to help us out on one of our games earlier this season running it for us. But that is going to wrap it up for us here tonight and for this 2024 Marcus Marauder football season, where they do fall tonight in the finale by a score of 47-28 and will miss the postseason this year. Thank you also to head coach Mike Alexander, who has been very helpful all season long, giving his time and getting us all the information we need on his team. He's a pleasure to work with. We know from our past relationship with him at Grapevine, he has been great to work with for us for now the third year that we have worked with Coach Alexander, and it's been a lot of fun. For my broadcast partner, Tim Smith, my name is Jacob Dedamore. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Good luck to the Coppell Cowboys in the playoffs, and everyone have a safe drive home here from Coppell High School, and good night, everybody.